What is up, guys? Wall J here, and I'm here with my co-host. That's you, Sherry.
That's me.
Yeah.
Shuddy.
Yeah, that's you. Come on.
I like that.
We're live, yes. With us, we have the wild man, the caveman, Jacob Brunel. And we also have our producer Chris.
Hello.
Boo.
Why didn't I get any sound effect, dude?
He likes you.
I mean, you introduced, but if he liked me, he'd have gave me like some crazy cheering.
All right, let's do it again. With us, we have Jacob Brunel, the caveman.
They could do better.
Is that better?
You could do better. You could have done better than that.
So, guys, we were talking behind the scenes, and we can't let you in all of it. So, but
Because you're scared.
yeah, because we're scared. We don't want people knowing what we were talking about. But anyway, my man here has got a fight coming up in November 10, Combat Night Pro. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you know who your opponent is?
Yes. Well, we'll see. We don't. It's supposed to be Jason Valley. I got to get a rematch. This guy here triangled me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little scared of triangles.
Oh.
And I mean, even if you draw one on a piece of paper, I run. That's how scared triangles make me.
Immediately go for the defense.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm running.
Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back, let's say, to 2008, 9, your stunt biking days. How the fuck did you get into that?
Oh, it was longer than that, Bo.
It was longer?
Yeah,
I
started in 02.
Oh, how did you get started in that?
You really want to know?
Yeah, well, let's
go ahead.
Let's get it out here.
So, I've always wanted a street bike when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Clearly, the dad was saying, no way. Not a chance.
You still work for your pops?
Yes. So, but.
Now you're the boss.
Pretty much, yeah. Now I am. But, so what we ended up doing, met this beautiful girl at the time, who's now the ex.
Oh.
But she got me my first bike, by the way.
Ooh.
Okay.
So, and it's a phenomenal startup. So I get this bike. I didn't have for 30 days.
What'd you get?
929. The red and black
Oh,
Honda.
shit.
Beautiful, gorgeous bike.
Good start.
30 days, I wreck it.
No shit.
I don't even pay the first payment. It gets on the truck, goes to the Honda dealership. My man looks at me and says, I don't think this is for you. I go, give me another one. I had that one for 3 months, totaled that one.
Wow.
Take it back to the Honda dealership, and he looks at me and he goes, my man, I'm telling you, you're going to kill yourself. This is not for you. I said, give me another one. So that's not even in a 6-month time. I went through 2 bikes. The third bike, that was it. Started doing wheelies, did it for fun. That's all we did it for.
Yeah.
Started traveling. We met the MTV guys in
Right,
Wisconsin.
Because I saw you on that show. What was it? He was
True Life, I Live to Ride.
Yeah.
So met them in Chicago, which is close to Wisconsin. Don't ask me. It's so close up there. They're all crazy. I mean, you're in one state and then you're in another state. Not like here. You got to drive forever to get out of a state.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and we just started competing, started traveling. We had the best team in the country at the time. And it was a dream come true, dude. It was the best time of my life.
So how long did you do that for?
All the way up. My last show was in Guyana in 2012.
Guyana?
South America.
The fuck?
Oh, it was a blast.
Were you married at that time?
No, but I had a kid at that time.
Oh.
And that was my last show, too.
That motherfucker was living in sin.
Well, you laugh. The Guyana was really the only show I started doing. My stunt riding got me into MMA.
Yeah. How so?
Well, I rode with a lot of guys. So we get out to Guam and Saipan. We had a 17-day show. So I'm with Kyle Woods, which right now is a stunt coordination company. He was the one that did the bus flip in was it Fast 5? Which one was in?
Pick one. There's only been like 9.
Yeah,
I think,
right.
now.
Well, he's in the very first one. He's the one riding the stunt bikes in the beginning. When they block off the road.
Okay.
The dreadhead that jumps out is Robert Marley Jr. It's actually Bob Marley's son. Sly, which we call him Stuntman Sly, who does all the Iron Man now. He's the one that does all of Robert Downey as a junior, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He does all of his stunts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so all these guys turned into stunners, from stunt coordination to actual stunts in the movie. We were with Joe Dryden. I mean, we went with 14 people. So we get out there and we're picking on It Takes Two, Steve freestyle. He's about 6'6". Jake was about $136. When we get over there and we're messing with him. Well, Kyle Woods talks him into fighting one of us.
Oh, shit.
Well, guess who he picks?
You, because you're the smallest guy?
Dude.
You were like $140 back then, too.
$136 to be exact.
$136. Jesus Christ.
So we actually get in Guam, and my brother, notorious for finding, we weren't even there 30 seconds. He's already found 3 women. So he's special. So he's off with the girls. So we get in the parking garage, and we always had we always played pranks, from X-Lax to Vaseline on the damn seat, icy hot. I mean, we were nonstop. So we get out there, and they talk him into fighting me, and we get out of the garage, and he says, "Come on." I said, "I'm the wrong one." And I warned the other two. I said, "I'm going to knock him out." Bigger and shit. Knocked him out. Split him from here to here. He didn't know where he was at for 4 days.
Holy shit.
So where this comes into me doing MMA, 2 years later, we always have Stunt Wars. That was our big competition. That's the one that was on MTV.
Right.
And we get out there, and Kyle's there, Sly's there, Robert Marley Jr.'s there. So I come up to sign in to compete. And they all look at me and they're like, "Oh, you fighting?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm clearly still street fighting. I mean, and they're like, no, cage fighting. And I'm like, "Nah, what for?" And of course, they turned to me.
For money.
Yeah, well, and they turned to me and they said, "You'd be good at it, dude." I'm like, eh. So I'm sitting on the couch, and I could tell you exact date, November. Me and my wife are watching Chuck Liddell's fighting on the UFC. And I'm sitting, I used to get goosebumps watching it. I mean, that's how much I love watching them fight.
Yeah.
And she looks at me, and she didn't like my writing. Because obviously with a lot of the groupies, the girls, I mean, it was chaos. I mean,
Well, you went down to Puerto Rico, too, I heard.
8 times. 8 times. And when you go there, you're a movie star during that time. I mean, obviously, I love to ride motorcycles. So even when MTV came and shot, I didn't think it was a big deal. I mean, it didn't mean anything to me until we got to Saipan, and they didn't even know we were there. You know, and they knew us from the MTV show. And then that's when I was like, damn, this is pretty big.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, all right, maybe it was bigger than what I really thought.
Dude, you were
it
in
was.
magazines. How could you not know that you were big?
Well, just don't. You got to have that ego, I guess.
Yeah, you're just doing, hey, I do this for fun. I enjoy it.
Exactly.
It's no big deal to me. Yeah, Sherry, go ahead and just
Yeah.
beat that up with your
Sorry.
water jug.
Thanks for
Yes.
fucking that up.
Anyway,
Anyway.
way to go.
So you're in Saipan.
And the guy recognizes us, and that's when I knew that, damn, this thing was bigger than what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And it was the second biggest show. Guess what the first biggest show was?
Tokyo Drift?
Hell no. the Oxycontin one. Because it was True Life. True Life.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you know, True. They used to do all that
yeah,
True Life.
yeah.
That was the biggest one because it affected so many households.
Yeah, still does, apparently.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, especially around where we're at right now. You want some oxys? We could probably go down the road, 2 houses up, knock on the door, be like, "Yo,
Bro, why are you
Oxys."
putting your neighbor on blast?
No, he knows who he is.
You know you have a cop right across from you and probably go arrest him and shit.
Yeah, probably not.
No, he can't.
That's JSO.
He
They,
can't.
they don't. Yeah, no, they just.
He has to get. He would have to get the officer whose zone this is to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
So we're sitting there on the couch. The wife looks at me. She goes, "Why don't you fight?" And I've got an issue. When I do something, I get obsessed with it.
I know.
So, of course, I have to look at her, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" She goes, "You'd be good at it." So I'm like, "Fine." First gym was Matt's gym, Bulldog Boxing.
Yeah.
And what I do like about Matt is he wouldn't let me spar for 3 months.
That's smart.
He wouldn't stick you in the ring. And guess who started with me?
Jason.
Jason Jones. If you look at us,
Salt and pepper.
yes, we were complete opposite to a certain extent, completely the same. He was a lot faster than I was. I just hit a lot harder than he did. And we started together, and the first day of sparring was me and him in a 240-pound dreadhead.
Oh.
Dude, Matt lied to me. He looks at me, and I'm like, he goes, "All right, you're sparring today." I'm like, "All right, cool." He's y'all's weight. So me and Jay look at him.
It's a combination of you and Jay, and then that combines the
Dude,
guy.
me and Jay beat the living shit out of this dude. I mean, I dropped him 3 or 4 times. Jay dropped him 3 or 4 times. And then me and Jay beat each other's heads in. It was so entertaining that The rest of the month, I mean, I think we sparred so hard for like 3 months straight that it got to the point where his jab started feeling like his right hand because we were sparring too much. We weren't wearing headgear, but me and him would go at it. And you would notice when sparring, because sparring was at the end of the training, all of a sudden everybody starts coming in the gym. He would call and just inform, oh, by the way, Jacob and Jason's sparring again today. And they would come just to watch us spar. So, and that was it. That was the green light. And
so how many, because you're a professional now,
Yes.
how many amateur fights did you have?
I took 12 amateur fights in a year.
In a year? Were you fighting a plush?
No. Remember, Jerry Coker was doing a lot of them.
Okay.
First Coast Full Contact was doing a lot of
Right.
them. And then, Josh Ruckers were doing a lot of them.
That was Battle in the Ancient City. Yeah.
What
okay.
I would do is I would stay. I never dropped weight as an amateur. I refused to. I walked around at 160. I fought 160. I mean, of course, when we fought in Atlanta, I fought Charles Rosa for the belt in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I did have to make weight for that one to be able to get the belt. So I did drop 155 to fight him. That lasted a whole 44 seconds.
Yeah, but that's only 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Is he the guy that triangled you?
No, I beat the shit out of him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he was Charles Rosa's in the UFC now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
I haven't seen him in a while, though.
Yeah, Matt's got a real funny story behind him.
Oh.
When they went up to the Contender,
Yeah.
Matt said they were in the back and he sees them and he's looking. He says, man, he goes, I know who that is. That's Charles.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there. He said, Charles acting like Hollywood.
Oh.
And then Matt goes, I know you. And he kind of looks, oh, from American Top Team? Nah. Matt's kind of a sarcastic asshole to a certain extent. So he's baiting him in.
Yeah.
So he already knows who he is.
Yeah.
Nah. Oh, the UFC. He goes, you know what? You fought my boy, Jacob Brunel. He said he didn't say another word, wouldn't say hey to him, went and talked to him. He was just like,
damn, Charles Rosa, have a little bit of class, bro. You're
Dude.
in the UFC now.
Oh,
Relax, man.
it gets better. After I beat him, he still carried the belt around.
What? How
Yeah.
was that?
Well, you get to keep your belt.
Yeah,
So-
you get to put it on your wall.
Yeah, but you're not
shouldn't-
supposed to
Yeah.
carry it.
Yeah, you're not going out in public with it no more. You lost.
Yeah. You
Stop
got to
it.
hang that bad boy up.
Yeah, stop it.
You know that if you came to the gym with your belt, we'll make fun of you and shit.
But I
right?
wouldn't do that.
Dude, that's kind of
Yeah.
lame.
The only time you should come to the gym with your belt is when you're getting ready to go, and you bringing it in to hang it on the wall, and then that's it.
But it's got to be a real belt. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got to be a legit a Bellator belt, a UFC belt. I mean, he was at the
No, I
time when I beat him, he was #1 amateur in the U.S.
Now, is he still sour about it? Apparently.
Oh yes.
Obviously.
Every time he sees me.
Is he? Does he live in town or what?
No, not even. Lives in I think Boca.
Boca. Okay, that's close enough to
Where's-
top team.
Yeah, I think it's
I was
yeah.
gonna say if he's
Yeah.
an American Top Team, he's down in Boca.
Yeah,
Coconut
yeah.
Creek.
Yeah.
Which he's a chef. That's his job on the.
Oh yeah.
But besides it being a sour part, the dude does run a really cool. It's called Chucky's Fight. That's why it's cool as shit. He's actually lost a lot of family members because he's from Boston.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Ugh.
the epidemic up there is crazy. But he does a lot of charity stuff too. So
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, he was just sour about the fight because he didn't know who I was.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're basically a no name to him.
I was a
that came in.
nobody, and he just thought he was going to run through me. And
How'd you beat him?
dude, I hit that son bitch so hard.
It wasn't ground and pound, or
No,
just-
I choked him. I hit him
You choked him.
I hit him so hard, and what he did is for him to recover, he went after my legs,
Yeah.
and I just literally, when he did, I cross-faced him and got behind him, and it was deep, and I toyed with him because I didn't choke him immediately. I just kind of held him there for a while,
Yeah.
and he didn't tap.
Oh, so he went to sleep.
Yeah, he Supermaned it.
Oh,
He
man.
literally, I mean, it was kind of freaky. You got to see it. It's on YouTube, by the way.
Man, respect to that guy.
Yeah,
I would.
Well, he never taps. No, I mean the kid's tough as
Yeah.
nails. Jason fought him. I want to say it was his second or third fight
Yeah.
at CFA. Jason had already split him. Jason was beating the brakes off of him. Boy, don't stop. Come back and end up beating Jay in the first round.
Wow.
Damn.
Crazy.
See that? Yeah. Nah, I'm an old ass man. I don't play with that shit. Because them young kids, man, they want that shit. They're hungry.
No, that's an understatement.
Yeah.
But how long ago was that? That was because I remember you had one.
2013. wasn't it?
Man, that was
4 years.
was that in March?
Yes,
I saw that fight.
that's the one.
I saw that fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I know?
How you know?
Because that was my first day from the show.
Ah,
And I'm like, we can't leave until I watch this fight. It's my
that's
boy.
my boy.
Yeah. And saw the fight, saw that you won. I'm like, all right, let's go have dinner.
Time,
Yeah.
mommy, go on.
Like that was it. I just want to watch your fight, and I was done.
Nice.
I
That's what I
remember
like.
now.
That's why I like fighting too. Because it was like last night, I was watching Island Fights, and I like my bedtime's early. I mean, when you get a certain age, bedtime's early, but
Bro,
ain't no partying no more.
bro, I'm 42. What are you talking about?
I turn 41 next week.
Yeah, boy.
See, like I've gotten to the point now where late, like pulling an all nighter is like 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
12
yeah,
o'clock.
that's rough.
That's rough.
Yeah,
But the problem is my body's still so conditioned. Now it's for some
You
reason
still
it's dropped down. Now I'm getting up 4:30 every morning, regardless of what time I go to bed. So that really sucks when you have a late night and you crash out at fucking midnight, and then you're up at 4:30. You're like, fuck.
that's
this.
that old man time clock, baby.
Dude, I don't know what happened. It like literally in the last month and a half, it just switched. It used to be 6, and then it kind of dropped down to around 5:45. I'm cool. I can deal with that. Now it's like 4:30. I start getting up and looking at my phone to see what time it is, and I'm like, man, I just want to fucking go back to sleep. No, just go ahead and get up.
Can't do it, man.
Stupid.
Like last night, what the hell I was doing? Oh, I was doing that video last night, and so I
That was a phenomenal video, dude, from your phone.
That was just I didn't have my gear. I didn't have my gimbal. I didn't have a mic attached to it. Nothing. So it was just like bare bones. So what?
I'm just laughing at that fucking runny nose over there.
That's not no running nose.
Oh,
I know.
allergies are killing me.
I know what that is. No allergy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you do last night, huh? Huh, mommy? You do a little skiing, huh?
Little coke. Little cocoa.
Is that cocaine?
Cocaine.
Allergies. That's what I'm going to use as excuse next time.
So yeah, last night was like the longest I've stayed up in a long time. Besides, staying up
Yeah.
till 8 o'clock at Jalen's.
Yeah, well,
know,
that's
that-
nah. That's the only reason why, like, when he invites me, I'm like, man, I really want to go, but I just do not have the fuel tank to be able to last till 4, 5, 6 a.m.
Oh, shit.
You know,
See.
yeah, nah, sorry, bro.
Bro,
Wow.
every once in a while, you
I
gotta
love
do
my
it.
I love my sleep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you got kids too.
Listen, I got monsters. I got no kids.
Yeah. Them boys, bro, they come to the gym and they put on the gloves. And like, I don't know if it's your little one that's
The little one punched you.
Yeah. He comes up to me, smacks me. I'm like, what the fuck? Just like your daddy.
Yeah. That we got one down the street. It's the my Navy buddy down there, his kid. For some reason, that kid's just got it out for me. Like he just, I mean,
Oh, but-
we have fun, but he literally every time he sees me pull into the driveway, he knows my truck. Him and his mom will be out there. He comes running all the way down the sidewalk, and I just go ahead and turn to my side, and he just runs down and gives me a little hook right into my thigh because he only literally comes up to my waist.
But that's because you're an asshole, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, if he's an asshole, he'd kick the shit out of
Yeah,
him.
I'd kick his little nuts over his head.
When his
that,
mom
little
wasn't
fucker.
looking, here
Yeah.
you go, you little bastard.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, oh.
Jeff.
Yeah. Well, I fuck with them too. Like every time when we drive, if I know they're outside playing, I always go that way out of the neighborhood, and I drive by real slow and just glare at them and fucking do the little finger eyes to him, watching them. He'll just sit there and bow up at me. Now, if that kid ever gets to be any size and they stay here for any time, I'll shoot him.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
you know,
Right.
right now he's a kid.
You just got to sneak up on him. That's what you got to do and smack him.
I'll show him that old man strength.
Smack him before he does.
Yeah,
Surprise, motherfucker.
damn right.
You know, Wallace, since you made that comment on my security camera at home, that boy isn't coming back, and my daughter's about to break up with him.
Good.
Yeah,
Like, he stopped
boy.
talking to her.
Good.
And I was like, so I said something, I was like, was it because, like,
So,
What happened?
Sherry's got a daughter, 15 years old. She just found out her boyfriend is 18 years old. She's got a
Yeah.
camera at home. I get on the camera and I say to him, I just said it. I'm like, boy, better remember, whatever you do to her, I'm going to do to you.
they had no idea what was going
he
on.
pulled a bad boy on him.
Mhm.
That's what that is.
He hasn't come back.
That's a good thing.
Good.
No,
It
I'm
worked.
fine with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it worked.
So I asked her because, you know, usually she'll ask if you can come over, like, during the week.
Right.
And I'm like, as long as I'm home, I'm fine with that. Hasn't come over at all. and then nothing this weekend.
He's
And
not
then
texting, nothing.
no, and even at school, like I guess he's been somewhat avoiding her. So she told me she was gonna break up with him this week.
Ah.
It's like, is it because
Loser.
Yeah.
No, he afraid you gonna get that shit and push it in.
He's like, I got to get my whole life in front of me. I can't have that happen.
Bro, you're going to be a grandpa like at 45.
Who?
You!
Now with the older one, yeah.
How old's your oldest one?
He's only 11,
Okay.
and he's got girls all the time. We're pulling to pick him up, and this chick is like 3 foot taller than him, and I'm like, I look at my wife. Said, "What's that?" I guess that's a new girlfriend. That's what he means.
At
He's got a
11?
girlfriend. 11.
No.
Now school just started, right?
Yeah.
I think he's already been through 3.
Got to find the right one to do the right things.
Play a pimp.
See, that's what worries me about mine down there is because he's very sweet, he's very loving, and he'll always compliment a girl. Your hair looks nice
He
today.
is really sweet.
I like your makeup. I like your your necklace. So I've taken him up there to get his hair cut to the little haircuttery place, and man, he just talked him. He's not trying to, but he just talked a mad game to the girl that was styling his hair. And she's like, I just love him. I could eat him. And I'm like, yeah, no, we
No.
need to go.
Yeah, that's a little pedophile-ish.
Yep. I was like, yeah, he's 8. Let's just keep moving.
You know what? He's ahead of his game, though.
Oh, he is. He is.
He's a winner already.
Yeah.
Because in this time and age, stuff like that, forget about it.
Well, he is, but then he.
Well, he's got to
especially
be
with-
careful with the hashtag Me Too, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially like with everything that's been going on this week. And
What's going on this week?
Well, with Kavanaugh, the hearings and stuff like that.
You know what?
JELLO.
dude?
I'm,
Yeah, that one too.
explain to me what the fuck is going on, because I see the post and it's politics. I keep scrolling. What is the deal?
So the girl says that the Supreme Court justice or the Supreme Court judge nominee basically sexually assaulted her 36 years ago at a party. She's not sure when. She's not sure where the party was. She's can't tell you how she got home. She can't tell you how she got there.
Is there anything that she can actually tell you?
No.
There's not.
They claim it's a made-up story.
Well, what a lot of people are leaning to, for some reason, she can't recall any of this information, but she can recall that
He touched
Kavanaugh was the one that was in the room. The problem is everybody that she's listed that was there have all came out and said, I have no idea what the fuck she's talking about. Don't even know what party she's talking about. Not even sure, what's going on. I have no, I mean, they've even signed sworn testimonies under,
People lie though. So that
well,
don't
no,
mean
but the
shit.
thing is these are sworn testimonies under the threat of, what is it?
It's perjury.
Perjury, which is felony. So
people lie regardless.
well, they can.
I just feel like 36 years is a long time ago
to remember.
to remember exact details versus.
But you gotta
do
give
you
it
even-
something.
What
were you even
exactly
paying
was it that he
attention?
did?
supposedly him and another guy pushed her down on the bed and grabbed her tit or something like that, and like tried to kiss her, and then they let her up.
So they try to get to second base.
Yeah. Yep.
That was it.
Basically.
Oh.
And then, but now
Well,
there's
while I
I'd say
don't.
that was it. Like it
Well,
was.
listen.
well,
while
no.
I don't condone that type of behavior,
yeah,
I mean, come on.
I know. But then there's
36
also been
years ago. Why didn't you say something
Then
36 years ago?
because it's-
Supposedly, she has made comments to friends, family,
Mhm.
counselor type thing, not ever mentioning his name, not ever mentioning like every detail. But something did happen. I think something did happen. I don't know who. Obviously,
that seems to be the consensus. Is everybody's going? You know what? I think something did happen to her. I don't think that Kavanaugh was the guy that did it.
I don't think it was or wasn't. I mean, I don't have really.
Is there
there's
the
no
possibility
evidence
that
either
at
way.
this party there were maybe drugs or
Oh,
alcohol?
tons of alcohol, tons of
36
drinking.
years ago.
The other issue is that everybody portrays Brett Kavanaugh to be like this perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Well, I'm just saying in that time he was supposed to be a virgin, supposedly this, supposedly that, no
Well,
alcohol, no this, but
No, he drank alcohol, but
He-
the thing is, I mean, he was your standard
college or
valedictorian
high school kid.
guy,
He just
basketball
hit it
captain.
well.
maybe, but probably.
Judges
But the-
drink, smoke,
But the thing is that
lie.
here's the biggest. This is what worries me. This is the biggest thing that worries me, and especially it probably worries you too. You got boys. Okay,
Should.
Now,
especially my oldest.
well, at any point, it's becoming that you can make an allegation against a man,
Exactly.
a boy. There is no time frame that it has to be under. There's no burden of proof. There is nothing. All you have to do is say these words, and his life is destroyed.
Which is 100% because it's hearsay. Since
Yeah.
when does hearsay count in a courtroom?
It doesn't.
Now it does.
But I mean, that's what scares me. And what has disappointed me this week is I've seen all these people on my feed. You know, I believe her. He's, a rapist. He's this. He's that. He's a liar. But the thing that kills me is a lot of these people. They have young boys. They have 7, 8, 12, 13. They have boys. And I'm just going, God, I hope that in his lifetime, nobody ever says, hey, you know what? He touched me inappropriately 15 years ago, because you've already kind of stated you've put your flag on that hill that it doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be proof, anything. You're always going to stand with the woman. So you get to watch your kid get destroyed. What are you going to do?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Are you going to stick by that where I must believe all women, or are you going to go, wait a minute?
Wait a minute. That's not everybody though. That's just
No, but it's what he's saying is you're seeing a domino effect here.
Yeah.
He's not saying what's going on now. Yeah, some of these guys are horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible human beings. We got that.
Yeah.
But think
Brock
about
Turner.
Yeah.
it. But think about it. Now it's getting to the point where there's some girls out there. Trust me, y'all been in school, elementary school.
Mhm.
You make a girl mad, she'll say anything to a certain extent.
It's been happening over the last.
And what happens? I'm talking about not normal girls. I'm talking about the crazy ones.
Bitches.
But
yeah.
what happens
We're
if
all
it continues to escalate to where you're right? To
Yeah.
where, maybe he grabbed her on the ass and, she liked it the first time, but didn't the second time, and all of a sudden he's nailed.
See, we've already had one instance already with my youngest.
Oh,
Okay. Well, it was kind of weird at summer camp. Okay. Y'all all know Tyler.
Yeah.
How many times has Tyler hugged you?
Yeah, he's usually really, as soon as I come in,
Yeah. He gives you a hug. He hugs Wallow. He hugs. So he had hugged this girl, and she was a counselor, and she was around 17 years old, I think. So he had hugged her every day.
Give her the shocker.
No,
Okay. Just
no.
checking.
just hugged her every day because she was his camp counselor.
was she pretty?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
smart kid. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, he doesn't fuck with other. He really doesn't mess with other girls.
That's what I'm like to hear.
I mean, like
He likes them old ones.
He's kind of gotten
All right, I'm
maybe
keeping my hands
uncomfortable.
up now.
Well, no, but that's the thing though, is he hugged her. This was like 3 months into camp. He hugged her the way he always does. And then she went to the owners of the camp and went, well, I feel this kid is, sexually harassing me. Okay, Tyler's 6. He's 6 years old at this point. 6.
You probably don't even crank on his meat yet.
It's not that. He's probably. You got to think what the counselor is. She's got to be crazy.
Yeah.
No
I mean, at no
Or
point.
maybe the counselor really
I don't know.
liked it.
So, but we ended up having to, just off of that, we had to take him out of camp. Okay,
So-
that
And he
was
probably didn't even understand what was
he
going
has,
on.
He has no
not at
idea.
6.
Like,
He
I
has
was
no, he has
hugging
no
her,
idea
like-
about that now. At 9,
He will once he downloads the episode.
Well, maybe. But I mean, that was 3 years ago. Okay, and since 3 years ago, you've just seen it progressively getting crazier and
You're
crazier
right.
and worse.
Bro, I could just see it now. He walking through the doors at the camp and
He's got candles going.
Right? He's gonna be smooth.
Steak dinner.
But I mean, really,
what's up, baby?
that scares the fucking shit out of me.
I haven't even talked to Jake about anything like that. I'm always talking to Caitlin about birth control and do we need to go to the doctor?
Well, we
like,
had the talk the other night with Tegan. Was not that talk. We've already had that talk, but the talk of, look, if somebody ever does something to you, and
you come out right away.
yeah, you feel it was inappropriate, or
You say something.
You wasn't part of it. You say something immediately. You either come tell me, you tell the police, you do something, but you do not hold on to it. And I told her, I said, and do not ever make up a story about somebody doing something to you.
Yeah.
See, and I've gone through that too. My ex's sister she's got issues. Like my whole ex's side, they've got issues. And she did not want her baby daddy to have contact with her daughter. So she
makes up stories.
made up this story, and this little girl was already a really excellent little storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just, you could tell she's being coached. You
Yeah,
could
you
tell
feed
these
it.
are adult words.
Mhm.
And she's saying things that someone at her dad's house had touched her inappropriately. And I was like, I started kind of piecing it together that I don't think that happened. Like, she's got
You are fake news.
Yeah.
But the problem is nowadays, if you
say that and you're nailed.
Yeah, if you ask, well, what proof do you have? Okay, well then you're
victim shaming.
Yeah,
and
you're victim shaming.
I
You're an
get
asshole.
it. Like, I've been on the victim side too many times.
Yeah.
And
I already apologized for that shit.
but now I see these girls. You've got girls who consented to things and then later regret it and turn it back. Oh, well, I was assaulted. No, the fuck you weren't.
Yeah, I mean,
You knew
got-
what you were doing.
consented.
Yeah, you
and
got
now you
college-
regret it.
You got
Like,
college kids who get kicked out of their schools off of a mere
football
allegation.
team.
Hey,
Football.
that one player, you remember?
Yeah.
They just had in
Pennsylvania.
Was that who it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that bitch is going to jail for a year.
Mhm.
Good. She
Yeah.
needs to.
Yeah, lost his scholarship.
Yep.
You know, I do think I think I read a story. I do think he's actually going to get a chance to maybe try out for NFL team next year because he was, on his way. He was a prospect,
Yeah.
and then all that got trashed.
There was
Because of
I
the
saw
story.
it.
guy in California that served several years
23.
for you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then luckily, I mean,
Yeah.
23. It's a
Man,
long
that-
time.
still,
But luckily, he
23.
got
Bro,
out.
You lost the prime of your life.
Yeah.
And
Lost
he's
everything.
still the NFL said, "All right, I'm going to give you a chance." And I think Seattle took
Wait a
him on
minute.
for a little bit.
How are you going to be locked up for 23 years and get a shot at the NFL?
Because
Dude.
how old was he? 18,
He
19?
was 17, 18 probably when he
Yeah.
got arrested. And
So, look at me. I'm
Maybe it's like-
what, you have
41,
nothing
still
else but
fighting.
stay shape most
Yeah.
of the time unless you're taking in places. But
pumping that
I
iron.
don't know.
yeah.
Anyways,
Ah,
but it
wow.
just scares me that this is if things don't change, if there's not like a big shift, that by the time Tyler's in his teens and all like that, it's
Oh,
gonna
that
be like,
shift is coming, bro.
it's going to be like, look, I don't care. You have to be careful with everything. You fucking if you need to,
You
print
will
up
only
I
hang
was gonna
out
say you
with
need to get a
little boys.
signature
Yeah, you're-
of consent.
yeah, we'll have a
Body
fucking we'll have the
cameras.
Jew Dragon draw up a fucking contract and be like, look, you're gonna have to sign this shit before this dick comes out. Plain and simple.
Well, and it's not even
The
physical
candles don't
anymore.
even get lit until
You
there's
can
a
say,
signature.
"Hey, beautiful," and someone takes that offensively, and they put a fucking hashtag Me Too on that.
Yeah.
It'd be like, here's the contract. Please sign it.
It's like, bitch, you don't even know what it's like to be raped, and you're complaining because someone called you beautiful.
I've had a woman one time. I was at the AT&T building downtown. And I was going to go work on the rooftop. It's cold, so I had a beanie, my hard hat on, my shades, a tool bag, my big fucking Carhartt jacket. I'm working. I look
Your
rough.
redneck gear, yes.
Yeah, my redneck gear. I look rough. And I'm sitting literally leaning all the way in the very back corner of the elevator because there's a lot of women that work there and all like that. And this one little dainty girl comes into the elevator, shuts the door. About halfway up, she just turns around and looks at me. She goes, "You look like a rapist."
Oh,
whoa.
what does a rapist look like?
And I was just like, cool. I was like, well, you look like a whore.
Oh.
I mean, I didn't move. I didn't move. I didn't show that she had, that shit fucking pissed me off and, like really made me sick. But I just stayed leaning up against the wall. I was like, yeah, well, you dress like a whore, And then she got off her
You didn't
floor.
have to do anything.
No.
That comment was perfect.
And then she got off, gave me a dirty look as she walked off. And I'm just going, how fucking easy. How nowadays, that was probably 10 years ago. But nowadays, how easy would it be for her to go in to her office, tell her boss, hey, this guy in this elevator, he just tried to rape me. And then
You
I've
lose your
got
job.
all the fucking cops coming down on me. Yeah, I probably lose my job.
You lose your wife.
I lose everything. Well, no, because the funny thing is we've got a friend of ours who went through this about 2 years ago. Luckily, the company he works for backed him 100%. Somebody came out and said that he did these things at this location, and they went, no, we don't, what proof do you have? Kind of thing. And she could provide none. And they went, yeah, no, we're not going to.
So basically like the chick that's accusing the judge guy.
Yeah. But the only proof she has the polygraph,
She passed.
which is
That's
she
easy
passed.
though.
Bro,
It's
yeah.
easy to pass.
Yeah.
It can be. There's a lot
I've
of
passed
weird.
27 of them.
There's a lot of weird ways to pass it. One, they say put a tack in your shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every
I
time
heard that in
Spike your
Beavis and
adrenaline.
Butthead.
Yeah.
or stare at something on a wall, and when they ask you the question, ask an honest question to you and answer your
Uh-huh.
own question.
You justify it in a different way
Yeah.
to make it the truth
Right.
or whatever.
Well, that's the reason why polygraphs they're not admissible in court
So why are they bringing it up?
because it's literally the only thing they have.
That's it.
it's a way to try to gain some type of credibility.
Yeah, some doubt
For her
Um,
story.
Yeah, there's
So
which,
basically-
which what it is possibly somebody did do that to
Yeah.
her, but I don't think it was him.
no, I don't. I just don't think so. I mean, the man's he's had every single woman that he's worked with in the since he's been a judge, and I think it's around 300 women who've
Ooh.
signed and said
Yeah,
Brett
he fucked me.
Kavanaugh is one of the most outstanding and upstanding people I have ever worked for. And I was talking to our lawyer friend about this, and all these people, all these girls, were their clerks. I guess I can't remember the term he used, but they're
Monica Lewinsky's. Got it.
kind of.
Kind
Under that desk.
And that's the thing. He goes, if you're in that position, that's the position that if somebody is going to do something like that to you, that's where it happens because they have complete and utter control over your entire life and anything past that. All they have to do is say, this person is not a good fit for, this
job.
Do
yeah.
you imagine if Bill Clinton had that? All 300 women would have something on him.
Yeah, exactly.
But all he needed was 7.
But everybody's, I mean, there hasn't been anybody that he's actually worked with, had close, I mean, Jesus Christ, he's had all of his ex-girlfriends come out
Usually,
and say he's the best.
your habits or behavior.
Yeah.
Playing
So-
devil's advocate.
Sure.
It doesn't mean he didn't do it.
No.
It doesn't mean just because he's had a clean record for the past even 30 years doesn't mean nothing ever happened.
No. But
He
you
might
have-
not remember it. He might have been too drunk.
The burden of proof is on
Yeah,
her,
but
though.
even when I've been too drunk, a woman says no, it's no.
Yeah.
My theory when I was younger, if a woman said no, it was like an ego buster to me because if she didn't want me, then I didn't want her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really what it boiled
Yeah.
down to me. So no is no, So usually people that behave like that continue to behave like
Yeah.
that. That's
Generally,
not
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
just hit
you
or
don't
miss.
sexually assault somebody
Wasn't
once
there
and then
someone
you
else
never do.
saying that they did see him and another guy? I don't know if it was at that same party. I don't even know if it was in the same context, but that they claimed they did a written statement where they said, this was back in college, not in high school, but back in college. I saw him behave in a way that he,
Yeah, there was somebody who said that there again, it's they said that he waved his penis in her face, and they were like, "Cool."
Wow.
well, that was her, but there was another person that said
Yeah, no,
he
there's
saw,
been 4. There's
Yeah.
been 4 other women that have come out in the last, I don't know.
So maybe he had a rough little high school and college time.
But the problem
and now,
is it's 4 women that's just come out this week. They didn't come out back in 2012 when
Right.
he went up, back in 2008 when he was appointed. It's just now all of a sudden where people are getting ready to lose majority in the Supreme Court.
And that's
now-
why they're pushing so hard for it.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it has become completely political. The thing is I feel like they're not worried about any justice for
Him.
for her, for
Anybody.
there's
Ms.
nothing
Ford.
legally they can do. It's more about his job and his position.
They
as,
don't want it. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
But
have any of
he
these
can't
women
go to jail. He
presented
can't.
any sort of evidence?
No.
There's no what evidence are you going to have? There's no. It's not like there was cameras really
Well,
back
it's
then,
2012.
video and
2012. There was camera.
2012 for
I think
what?
I think one of them has accused them of actually raping her, and they've asked,
Holy shit, that's
did
a
you
big
do-
accusation.
did you do rape,
the rape kit? Yeah.
No.
What do you mean 2012? What's in 2012?
That's
This was 36 years ago.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is he has been in the political limelight since 2008.
Okay.
Right. He's
So
been a judge and
He's been a judge, and then he got appointed to the circuit court.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that he's getting accused of rape too?
Yeah,
So there's not one, there's 4.
Four
Yeah.
written statements from 30 plus years ago.
And the rape happened in 2012?
no.
No,
The rape
no.
happened 30 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying this woman has just come out this week and said, "Oh yeah, no, he raped me, at this party and stuff."
I could see why everybody, because I do the same thing. Like, why did you wait? But my experience,
Back
it's
then was
hard
a
to
little
talk
different.
about.
Yeah, back then that was a little bit different too, though. Well, women would hide it more than now. Women come out more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have more support.
Right.
But, back then, we don't know what happened. We don't know the story, obviously. But now, everybody's like, well, why is she coming out now? Well, there is some level of, if it did really happen, it is her responsibility to at least put it in the limelight and have a proper investigation, even though it's going to be really hard to do anything with. Because he's going to be on the highest part of the court system, making all these judgments and ruining whoever else because of his own opinions, whatever. So I get it. Yeah. And it does need to have a proper investigation. I don't think it's going to go anywhere because there's no proof.
Yeah. But, so now you're getting ready to, because here's the thing. It doesn't matter what they do. All they're doing is they're just trying to buy time. Doesn't matter what they do. He's going to the Supreme Court. They have the votes. They have all that.
I personally don't agree with his views, so I hope he doesn't. But
the thing is,
well, is it based on his politics or is it based on what's being said?
It's based on his rulings, his past rulings, and kind of where he leans.
He rules. He is a constitutionalist. He follows the Constitution. Doesn't matter opinions, things like that. It is the law of the Constitution is how he votes.
Okay, so it's not that you don't like him because what is being said in the last few weeks. Okay, gotcha.
But the thing is okay, so you just wrecked this man's
career,
life.
Not really.
Well, no,
he's still rich.
He's still rich, but
right.
you've drug him through the mud for 2 weeks. You've drug his family through the mud for 2 weeks. You've drug his children through the mud for 2 weeks. They've gotten death threats. His wife has gotten death threats.
I'm sure both sides have.
They have, actually, yeah.
But, so now you have do you honestly think, and I don't care how big of a person you are, I mean, if he's doesn't be like this, then he is a much better man than I would ever hope to be. But you can't tell me that when he's on the Supreme Court now, because of all the bullshit that they've tried to pull, that he's ever going to look at them in the same light. Any fucking thing that comes up from the Democratic side, Democrats, do you think he can honestly look at it and go?
He needs to be unbiased regardless.
Right.
He does.
He will. He
and does.
If all this is not real, you're right. He will, because judges, that's what they're for. And if he's constitutional, that's what he's going to do. He might not like.
Yeah.
But it's never going. It should
still,
never
he has
affect
to follow
his judgment.
the law. He has to follow, precedents. He has to.
He has to follow the law. What about everybody else?
Well, it's his job to enforce that.
No. What I'm talking about is what about the people on the committee who didn't follow the laws?
Oh,
who leaked letters?
They're called politicians.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
have you ever met an honest politician?
No. That's not their job.
And I'm talking about
on both sides.
I don't always agree with judges. I've been in the court where I've had my case and I've had my evidence and I've had every law on my side.
Yeah.
But I had a judge who was known for going against women and known for going against victim of domestic violence. And when my lawyer saw we had him, he was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does that mean?
Because they're a person too.
He's like, he's not going to go for you.
Yeah.
So, judges have their little bias, and they shouldn't. It should always be for the law.
Yeah, it should be. And I would say,
was this in Jacksonville?
It was in Gainesville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's that good old boy.
Just a good old boy.
Yeah, I would say, unfortunately, that you've probably got 90% of judges who are probably down the line the way they should be, and then you have 10% who
that's in everything, though.
It is. It is.
Every job, every occupation, there's always 10% that doesn't belong there.
No. I mean, you deal with GCs. I deal with GCs. There's probably GCs who get jobs they should not get just because of maybe who they know.
I mean, shit, my boss sends me to meetings for certain reasons. If, a pre-bid, if he wants to be able to get it.
You send the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
They like looking at a girl.
What are you wearing when you?
I'm wearing a polo and fully fucking dressed.
Okay. Doesn't matter. There's still.
But no, there's a difference.
You're not coming in with your stripper outfit, are you?
No.
With the heels.
There's just a different presence.
Yeah.
And there is a different, intention when. I know I've started to realize why he sends me to certain meetings versus
you're being
him
used.
Yeah, I am.
Well,
and I'm ready for that fucking raise.
Yeah, it's called playing to your strengths.
And women are not as aggressive as men.
No.
So that women bring a calmness to a room, especially because I'm a mechanical contractor.
Okay.
So when you deal with contractors, a woman settles. It's a trip. You see a woman come on a job, on like a big job that I have, and the whole job, there's no more cussing. everybody starts having manners. It's a trip.
Mhm.
And the minute she's gone, hey, the minute she's gone, everybody's cussing again.
Yeah.
The first week that I was working there, I've been there 3 years now. And the first week I got on, I think they all thought I was an inspector or something because, literally
Oh yeah, you walk
P's
in.
and Q's.
Yeah,
Like,
it becomes church.
and the eyes just following everywhere I go because they don't know how to behave.
Well, you're
Well,
either
it's
an
respect,
inspector.
too.
It
Yeah.
is, but these are a
So,
bunch of Mexicans.
Well, you're either
Oh, you
Yeah.
see mean.
You might be immigration.
I'm going to call Donald Trump
Yeah,
for this
I'm
one.
sure that's crossed their mind,
Yeah.
But
If I was
They
ever
know
your
me now.
boss and I had to like win a bid or something, I'll send Gabby Garcia in there. Be like, go get this shit.
Yeah. If they say no, beat the fuck out of them until they say yes.
most of the guys in that we work with or we go to bids know me now. But before it would be like they'd be almost sizing me up.
Well, yeah.
Do
Especially
I know
for-
my thing?
Well,
but
especially
I
for
don't.
bids because it's competitive. You have to have a competitive edge. You have to have a little push and aggressiveness. Because they come at me with shit like that all the time. I'll have 3 contractors talking to me at the same time while we're on site, and I'll be like, hey, stop, shut up.
Wow.
You
Where
go
are
first.
your fucking manners, sir?
No, because the thing is you're there to do the job for me. So,
Ooh.
well, there's the thing though. You can't let them run over you. You have to
Listen,
look.
yeah, you have to It's like babysitting.
It is. It is literally like fucking 12-year-old children.
It's easier to babysit kids than it is to babysit contractors.
It is.
So
It is
easier.
fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
It's ridiculous.
I am surprised half of these people made it through adulthood sometimes by the dumb shit they do.
Contractors and subcontractors whine more than anybody in any industry.
Yes. They're horrible. It's like, we can't do this. Why? It's raining. Fuck, sorry about your luck.
We have one guy right now who is a business out of state, so he doesn't have insurance through Florida, but we have a job in Gainesville. And he's like, well, can we just run under your insurance umbrella? No.
No.
Hell no.
How about you just give us the material, we'll do it.
Yeah, that's not how any of this works, Hot Rod.
And so he's still trying, and he's coming at me like I'm the decision maker. And I'm like, I don't want to be in the middle of this anymore. I'm not saying anything anymore.
Yeah, no, we have issues with like contractors. They'll win the bid, they'll get it, and then they sub it out. And then
you can't do that.
yeah. Well, you can, but then we have to change some paperwork on our end
Right.
because they have to have all the proper insurance and paperwork and everything like that.
But remember, a sub can't sub.
No.
A contractor can.
Yes, a
But a
contractor
sub cannot sub, and subs do it too.
Yeah,
and
they do.
And they'll turn around, and you'll have the contractor with the subcontractor, then they'll sub out and not pay the sub.
Yeah.
Well,
We've had our subs now turn into GCs. So we sub to them, and then they sub.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, because it's happened on a few occasions where something gets damaged, and you go,
not my fault.
"Hey, you did this work. I need you to fix this." Oh, we didn't do that work. We subbed it out. I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
But
Well,
it's on
unfortunately,
you.
the paperwork says you, so you get to fix it.
Comes out of your
Yeah.
pocket.
And they're like, yeah, but we didn't do it. I'm like, oh man, you should have let me know that, so I could have had the paperwork changed to reflect the contractor you had.
We're
do
having
it.
that same issue right now
Yeah.
at another job down in South Florida. It's like, but it's a huge, huge project
Oh, we've
with
got
like 4 different subs working on each side of the building.
Yeah.
And they're all fucking shit up, but nobody did it.
Yeah, we got one right now going on. It's not in my area. It's further south where they destroyed a parking lot. I mean, they cut and ripped up a 5-foot width, 300-foot long ditch in a parking lot. And they basically just packed it back and then left it. They didn't pave it. They didn't do any of that. They just and they foot packed it. They didn't run a tamper on it. They didn't do any of that. They just buried the lime rock back, just went down the fucking ditch line, kind of stomping it in. And people are going, who's going to fix this? And we're going, oh, well, this person's going to fix it. And they go, no, we didn't do the job. We subbed it out. Oh man, it sucks for you. Looks like you get to do a new parking lot anyway. I know you hear that ringing too.
Yeah.
It's probably downstairs.
It's so hard to find good
It is,
workers
and that's why when I
subs.
find one, dude, I do everything I can. I
To
throw
keep 'em.
every job
Yeah.
at them. I don't care if it's the most piddly shit. I've got one guy. Me and him, we grew up working together for his dad running heavy equipment, and now he's got his own thing. And I got him approved with us. He does a lot of the work on my sites. I throw everything his way. I try my damnedest, because one, he does a good job. If I have an issue, I'm like, hey, bro, this is wrong. Cool. I will be out there tomorrow to take care of it. He doesn't do a change order on me. I'm going to need this or that. No. Hey, my guys didn't do it right. Cool. I'll come out there myself and make sure it's done right. So yeah, I keep him. I've got ones that I wish I could just get rid of in a fucking heartbeat, but I can't because they're a nationwide company.
Right.
So in one area they do great work. Down here, their fucking guys are bozos the clown, just running a crew, and it's like, guy, I need you to get the fuck out of here. You're fucking me up.
Trump needs to build
Cool
the wall.
story, bro.
Anyway,
Yeah.
moving right along
Long.
from that. Jesus, I don't know how we got there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Fucking snooze fest. I'm like,
Well, it's because you don't
It's
you don't
'cause you
work in
don't
that
work.
world.
Because you don't work.
Bro,
I don't know. He sends us pictures sometimes.
I
7
got-
o'clock. Still sitting in front of his computer.
That
His
don't.
little
That ain't work.
earphone.
I got hoes that work for me, bro.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
Oh, you're a player, Pete.
I'm a pimp.
It's weird though because you'll see the reflection in his glass. He's like, "Yeah, I'm still at work," and you look at his glass, you see Pornhub, right?
Bro, that's the Brasier's website. What are you talking about?
Did you hear Kanye West? I think got a lifetime membership to Pornhub.
Oh, because he mentioned them on what was it, Fallon or
Yeah.
Because his
mentioned
wife's
them-
on it?
Yeah, probably. I know she is.
Well, let me tell you something about Kanye West. He had Ray J open up for him.
Okay. Who's that?
Are you serious?
Dude.
The porn video with your wife? You don't know that?
Oh.
Ray J?
You get it now?
Yeah.
Opened up for him?
No.
Hey.
I don't follow. Dude, my music runs either old school. I know. Either old school stuff. I don't really pay attention to anything new. I really don't. Unless it's
Well,
Wheeler
it
Walker.
really isn't that new.
Unless it's Wheeler Walker Jr. That's it.
You suck, sir.
I do. Dude, I'm a fucking old man with kids.
You don't know who Ray
No.
J is?
No,
No.
Ray. Yeah,
Is she a porn star?
No,
no,
but
Ray J.
Brand,
She.
he was
him.
Okay.
he was a rapper, or
Yeah,
still is. I don't
whatever,
know.
He was Kim
Brandy's
Kardashian's
brother?
big break.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, never mind.
Dude,
That's,
I'm not.
that's who got her famous.
Get on your
Okay.
Google.
He got on. She got on him, and she got famous.
Bro, you've never
They
seen
got
the
online.
meme where he's standing in front of the whole family and says, I made this whole family famous with my dick.
Never seen it. Sorry.
God damn it.
It's
You know-
rap. It's
you
rap,
didn't
bro. It's
miss
not hip.
anything.
It's not hip hop.
You didn't miss anything.
All right, whatever.
I'm old school hip hop. That's the only shit I know.
He's
about.
elevator music.
So
Kind of.
Go ahead.
let's get back on the MMA thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I would like to take time. The training yard.
Yes, sir.
That has been. I mean, first of all, Dean's been doing this for so long,
Yeah.
and he's finally coming back, and I've got to give props to him because I started when I was 30. I'm literally turning 41 next month or next week.
Yeah, old fuck.
Yeah. But the fact that he still has the passion, and he knows, I've already texted him about this. I struggle. I like to brawl. So my theory is I can hit you harder than you can hit me, so I'll take a shot from you just to nail you. This whole time, I haven't been learning how to really do it right. And he literally took the time. Obviously, he wanted to see if I was going to come to the gym, because Dean's rule big with commitment.
You fight, you're going to be at the gym.
Yeah, and he took the time, dude, and he finally he's been watching me for 3 weeks, and he said, "This is what we're gonna do." Dude, that shit was night and day for me. I mean, I'm sparring, I'm enjoying sparring, I'm seeing punches, I'm not trying to knock people out anymore,
I know.
and just to see the fact that he's coming back into it in that gym, how many people we had,
Bro,
for 3 weeks straight?
it's
Saturday. Nuts.
crazy.
We don't have a big enough gym now,
No, yeah.
and I mean, he's killing.
That's a
he's
good
passionate.
He
problem.
just started, September 1st?
He's back at it.
Yeah.
That's a good problem to have.
I mean, and everybody's coming from different gyms just to get. I
Well,
mean,
Well, he's Yoda.
Let's
he
be
is,
clear.
He is, dude.
Saturdays never went away. He wasn't teaching. He wasn't, coaching the fights, the fighters or whatever. But he was there on Saturdays because I kept going on Saturdays. Granted, I moved around, but that's always going to be home. So Saturdays, I'm going to be there. I mean, even if there's 6 people there, like it had been,
for a while.
a few times, I'm still going to get because I get to roll with him. It's like you learn
But
so.
the
you-
rolling's always been there. The
Yeah.
rolling's always been there. Everybody kind of ducks out, like Wallow hauls ass after roll.
I don't haul ass.
No, I'm sorry. He films.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
think
what
it's
it
all
is.
the good shit.
I don't have my gear.
Yeah.
Well,
That's exactly what he said.
I keep telling Mike every week, fuck, I forgot my gloves.
Yeah.
You mean you don't have any?
No, I do have.
He
blue.
got 'em.
definitely does not bring them.
No, I definitely.
So he'd be
don't.
like, "Yo, man, here you borrow mine." No, I gotta go.
Big
mean,
Mike.
you're not hurting
Big
my
Mike told me
finger.
last week. He's like, "Hey, you're in luck. I got a second set if you want to borrow." them." I'm like, "No,
I hurt my finger typing at work.
bro. I just don't have the skill.
Yeah,
Let's be
how is-
honest.
how is
You're
your wrist?
scared.
It's kind of fucked up, but you know.
I undid his wristband yesterday when I was
I
rolling
know.
with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had my back, so I undid it so he couldn't get me.
I had to redo it, but yeah, it's all right. I mean,
All right.
I'm not gonna be punching anybody anytime soon.
But I'm just
Elbows.
amazed of just took the time. I mean,
Yeah.
as old as I am, let's be honest. And I'm going to do this for 2 years, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
literally back to fighting again. So I'm running. For
So
2
no
years
more
straight.
bull riding.
Oh, dude. Bull riding is what stopped me from fighting.
I know because
My
you got
dumbass.
you got so fucking into it. You were
Dude,
going like
I had-
every weekend.
I had 4 fights contracted to fight.
Right.
Right? And I go to my sister's wedding in Tampa. And my younger brother, John Michael, phenomenal bull rider. PCA 6 years in a row champ. I mean, when I'm talking about and a little guy, we get there and my buddy JT's been trying to get me to bull ride. That's the one that got me at Bulldog. And
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, dude. And he goes, what do you mean no? I mean, I should tell him no. He's nuts. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting on a 2,000-pound animal that can kill you at any point in second. And he's like, but you'll skydive, you'll stunt ride, you'll do this, but you won't ride a bull. I said, no, dude. We get down to the wedding. So I'm talking to my younger brother. And he was like, why don't you try to bull ride? I'm like, nah, dude, I ain't doing that. I said, you're nuts. Because he thought I was nuts for fighting. And I thought he's clearly nuts for riding a bull. I'm going to tell you right now, cowboy tough, I know what it means now. Like, that's a legitimate term that if you ride a bull, you realize because those guys travel every weekend to ride. They have to. Because it's based off the money you make to get in to the big show. You have to make a certain amount of money to be invited. And my younger brother would go from Georgia to Texas to Oklahoma to California to ride bulls. And he's driving, he's traveling. So the week they spend traveling, the weekend they're riding. So we're sitting at the table. I ain't been drinking yet, by the way. So alcohol clearly wasn't involved in this yet. And he goes, why don't you bull ride? It's like, dude, they're dangerous. Oh, no. This is what he tells me. He says, listen, bulls don't step on you. When they step down and know that this dirt's not there, they come back up. And like, he's telling me this story. I mean, seriously. And I'm believing this shit. And that's the scary part. So what does he do? When bull riders are like MMA fighters, like stunt riders, I can go all over the country from stunt riding because I traveled all over and I can have a place to stay. That's what's the best part about stunt riding. I can go overseas and stay at places. Bull riding is the same. He had friends here. That bull rode with him, and he told him, he says, hey, my brother's going to come out. He goes, watch him. He went out to Kerr's when he used to have the bulls, and he goes, if y'all would, just take care of him. Well, I run into a longtime friend, Troy Smith, old muscled up son of a bitch. And he's also a phenomenal bull rider, but he got knocked out way too many times. Yeah. So I get on one. I did good. The first 3 bulls I rode, did fine. Well, I get on Bob. That's what my wife nicknames every animal she meets, by the way. So she called him Bob.
What's your nickname? You? Oh,
You don't want to know, Papi.
Anyway,
She called me El Manga.
oh,
So
sorry,
So-
Donnie.
I ride this bull. I had a fight 30 days later, and George Reagan took the fight, by the way.
George Reagan.
Yeah. It hits like a damn donkey kick. God. Dude, he hits you and you're like, yep, he's got 16-ounce gloves on, but it does not feel like, and especially he hits you that straight left. So anyway, so I ride him. Well, when a bull rider rides, you're supposed to ride with your opposite hand. So if you're right-handed, you're supposed to ride with your left hand because this is balance, by the way. And it's only balance. It has nothing to do, at no point in time will you ever hold on to a fucking bull. You're wasting your time. So I get on Bob. Well, I fall off to the right. Well, when you fall off to the right, if you ever see the bull riders, when they throw that rope over, it's to pull. Because if you fall off the opposite hand, the rope gets tighter. So you have to yank the rope to get your hand out. Well, I didn't know that. So what happens, and I've got video of it, by the way, of Bob literally dragging me.
Yeah, you got hung.
Hung is an understatement, but I got lucky because he was strictly a buck and bull only.
Oh,
He
really?
wasn't mean. So he didn't try to kick me off. He didn't try to hook me or horn me. So he just kept bucking. He bucks, and once you're off of him, he quits bucking. Well, I pulled this and this, and I was out for a year. I lost contract all 4 fights.
Yeah.
I was training full time. George Reagan took the fight that I was supposed to take and breaks the guy's jaw, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that's how I know he hits hard. And only hit the dude one time.
Yeah.
And broke dude's jaw.
Wow.
So, and that affected my MMA career.
Yeah, I see George out of the yard. He's a full-time resident there now.
Yeah. And I'm enjoying every bit of it.
Yeah.
Because he's really hard to deal with, roll-wise, stand-up-wise. Stand-up's phenomenal. You know, and he hits hard, even though he's not even hitting hard yet. And he just has stiff hands.
He was doing some pad work with Gene yesterday.
And
that's awesome that Gene was there.
and he's going to be every Saturday, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
he's coming
awesome.
every Saturday, 11 to 1. That dude is brilliant. Any fighter that's ever come out of Gene is legit. Great hands, just all of them.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to have him there.
Well, I believe that Gene was Dean's first striking coach.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. So Dean holds him in very high regard.
Well, I think everybody does.
Yeah,
in the MMA industry.
true.
I mean, everybody
true,
from
yeah.
Jacksonville knows who Gene Batista is.
For sure.
I mean, everybody. His was the best shows to get on. He was honest with you. You get some of these promoters, dude, they'll lie to you.
No.
Yeah. Gene wouldn't. Gene, you knew who you were fighting. You knew what he was capable of.
Yeah.
And he would try not to pair anybody up that wasn't competitive. He wouldn't stick a scrub against a stud. He just wouldn't do it. He would try.
It's a bad show.
Well, it's a bad show, and let's be honest, gyms don't like to hang a guy out there either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even going to say the name of this guy, but
Charles.
no,
I'm
that
just
one.
kidding.
No. I had a fight, and I felt bad for the kid that I fought. The kid only had 1 fight, dude. I'd already had 10 fights. I beat the shit out of this kid.
Yeah, no
really
reason to be in
bad.
the ring.
And the kid is a phenomenal fighter, but when you set him up against something like that, because some of these places never documented the fights, so you would only see, I think at the time, you could only see that I had 5 fights, and I was 5-0. I wasn't 5-0, I was 10-2. I lost my first 2 fights. I got armbarred, and then I lost a split decision.
What about the triangle?
Why I had to bring that up,
I've never understood the matchups, the way unbalanced matchups. I don't understand how it benefits either person.
What do you mean?
Well, one
Because
guy gets his record padded, and one guy's a sacrificial
Basically, but
we call
that's
them,
not a benefit.
Yes,
lamb. For the pad, it is.
the pad it is. Tomato cans, that's what they call them. You got
You get that a lot in boxing too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys will pay for that in boxing. Their camp that knows they got the stud will pay that fighter more out of their camp.
That's why when they finally lose that first fight, they're not the same again.
Dude, it is really hard to come back from a loss.
Yeah, in boxing it is, yeah.
Hell with boxing, anything.
Well,
anything. Any MMA,
But MMA, there's so many ways that you can win, so it's a little bit different to me. Because you'd be like, okay, I got caught in this fucking armbar. I'm going to work on that armbar defense, and I'm not going to get caught in that shit again. And I'm going to make sure that I keep this shit standing up or whatever. There's too many ways that you can win or lose in MMA.
Yeah, too many holes you could have.
But mentally, you still have to come across from that loss.
That's
yeah.
true, yeah.
So,
and if you ain't got the right people around you,
you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. We were talking about that earlier before we got on,
Yeah.
got live. But, you see a guy, once you peek out of that gym, you have to make a move. You really do. That's the reason Colin went to Miami.
He needed to go to Miami.
But there was nobody. Dean wasn't teaching.
Yeah.
Now, if Dean would have been in the gym,
right.
Colin would have never left. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's a stud, man.
He is.
He's a monster.
He's
come
working.
back from Miami.
Yeah.
He's busting his ass. He has to train twice a day.
Yeah. And
He
work.
works at night.
Yeah.
And I mean, he when he come up, put it this way, I paid him to teach me. That's how good he was. That's how much knowledge he had gained from down there.
Yeah.
So
He's doing fantastic.
yeah, I can't wait till he comes up to fight. But
Bro,
who are they going to put him up against?
Is he coming for Combat
Yes,
Night?
sir. Yes, sir. He's on the card. He is on the card.
Oh, shit. Because he was on Titan, and that guy that he fought in Titan was
super good.
supposedly like an up-and-comer. Watch out for him.
Yeah, well,
And he
Colin,
caught
I'm
him.
going to tell you right now, will make it to the big show. It just his dedication, his power. He is extremely strong.
yeah. You've said that, and I think you've actually
Dude,
said
he-
that.
I have an issue with the fact that the UFC doesn't treat their fighters the right way.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays
if-
the Big Show just isn't the UFC. The Big Show
I
could
know,
be
I
Bellator.
understand.
Big Show is overseas now.
Yeah.
You know?
I much rather Colin go to a Bellator like a guy like Scott Coker, who is known for taking care of his fighters, than going to the UFC and be just another guy on the roster.
But he won't be another guy. Dude, he's beating the brakes off of guys down there
Oh,
that
I
are
know.
in the UFC. I'm not going to say any names, but, I mean, Colin's going to be a champ. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He has the grit. He has the will. I mean, shit, his first pro fight, the guy stuck him decent. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Colin, man, like he could get hit. I
well,
mean,
the last one too, he got
rocked.
He got rocked, and he came back up, and he's like, this is shit. Is
He has what it takes to be a
Yeah.
champ. He really does.
I love Colin, and I hope that he does. I really hope that he gets taken care of.
He will.
That is my only thing that I fear for him if he makes it to the UFC. Another guy that I personally feel that could make it is Kozlov.
Yeah.
Kozlov, when he first started, he was average.
Now
But-
he's probably
but-
one of the best guys in our
But,
gym.
but you look at him now, pound for pound, man. Like, his grappling is legit as fuck.
Yeah.
And his stand-up is...
Phenomenal. Put it this way, I have to make it a point to spar with him once or twice, and I usually like to do it when I'm tired because he never gets tired, by the way.
He's got to
Ever.
forever.
Between him and
Yeah.
his girl, they don't ever get tired.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right
Shelby,
now.
yeah.
So when I go with Shelby, I go real easy because I hit way too hard. So might as well.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and see you put the video up and Steven popping her ass. And I'm like, God damn. I'm like, all right, well, maybe she can get hit a little bit harder than I think she can.
Yeah.
But boxing wise, he hits me a lot.
And it's so weird too because he's so unassuming. When you look at
He's
Kozlov,
so-
you're like,
He's humble.
he's
Yeah.
humble. But when you look at him, you're like, this guy's not a killer. He's
Uh-huh.
not. He doesn't look like he could
He don't
box my fucking head off. And,
Exactly. And
you
he
know.
doesn't carry himself like he
No,
No.
he's the sweetest guy in the world.
Oh, he's
Anytime you
cool
see
as
him,
hell.
it's a hug. How you doing? I love you.
Yep.
He's always
Yeah.
got a smile on his face. So
I love that kid.
yeah, I like
He'll
Kozlov.
make it to. You know who I thought would have made it to, and I'm surprised he didn't. Colin's brother.
Colin's brother.
Yeah, Jeff trained him.
Talking about Seth?
Yes,
Seth is not Colin's brother.
they're not.
No.
They're not related.
No, they're friends.
Oh, I always thought they were related. Well, I mean, they were always there together.
You know what? They might as well be. You're right. What the fuck am I
Assholes.
saying?
Well, anyways, with Seth,
Yeah.
Blood isn't always family.
Yeah, that's true.
that is 100% true.
That
Yeah.
is true.
Especially when you get older.
Yeah.
Because you're
I have more friends
Mm.
that I would trust than I
Yeah.
do some of my family members.
Yeah.
well, you know what they say, your brother might not be a friend, but a friend will be a brother.
Yeah.
Always.
That's the smartest thing you said all day.
Boom! Dropping some knowledge, motherfuckers.
Yep.
But he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And obviously come out of the training yard.
Yeah.
There's not many people that don't come out of the training yard that are not legit.
It was my understanding that he was supposed to be back, but I haven't seen him.
I know. And
So-
and it kind of, because I mean, I watched him get better.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I used to really, and he's a little guy.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where he started piecing me up.
Well, you're talking about Shelby, and talking about Jeff. Jeff is the one that's getting her to like her striking.
Anybody that Jeff trains and they actually listen to him
Yeah.
is a badass.
Yeah.
Remember Taylor?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anna.
Anna. Yeah.
Okay. He's actually, and I love it. He works for my youngest and he'll go and hold pads for him. And it was funny to watch because JJ comes in one night. I think it was a Thursday night kickboxing. It might even have been a Tuesday night because sometimes he shows up. And I look over there and then JJ's working pads. And Cameron's almost knocked my youngest son out like 3 times. I mean, like for some reason he feints to the right and JJ opens his hands up and then my son does a walking hook left hand and rails JJ.
And you're okay with that?
Yeah. My wife's not. She hates it. Like, I thought she was going to beat me up the last time it happened. And Jeff worked with him that week, and Cameron come in to spar, and me and Jeff are sitting there, and it was actually birthday weekend for Jeff.
Okay.
So me and him are sitting
Last
there
week,
talking.
okay.
Yeah, last week. So we're sitting there talking, and me and Jeff just happen to look over at JJ and Cameron sparring, and JJ hits Cameron with a 2-piece. bing, bing. And I looked at Jeff and said, "You see that?" He goes, "The boy listens." But that just shows you how knowledgeable he is because, he was in his brother, Craig.
Yeah.
And his brother, lightning's an understatement for that guy. Wow. He brought him up. He brought him up 3 years that same weekend, last weekend, because
September 22nd.
It showed up on my time hop.
Yeah.
So
I put the flyer together. Of course, I know about
that
this.
sucker. Probably hit me I don't even know where his punch came from, by the way. And I'll never forget he kicked me right in my eyeball.
I remember that too, yeah.
Hit me right in the eyeball.
Yeah.
And he's got great composure, obviously, because he clearly could probably knock anybody out in there. But to see how talented he was, and then you see that it comes from Jeff.
Well, his head movement too, bro. It's like those he doesn't do like a big head movement. It's like,
well, you're supposed to. You're literally supposed to make somebody miss by half an inch to an inch. Yep. That's it. All you're doing is deflecting the punch. That's
what he always preached.
That's what Dean's got me doing. I'm literally deflecting more punches, and all he has me doing is, I call it the Mayweather. This arm's here, my chin's behind here, this hand's here. Because I have a tendency to always drop my hands. I call it gunslinger, which is horrible in professional fighting, by the way.
It's a brawler.
Because you're leaving yourself way open.
Yeah, especially a guy that sees it in a corner that knows.
What's going on.
Yeah, the corner, when you come in, the corner's like, oh, by the way, he drops his hands all the time, left hook him.
Yeah.
That's what makes a great corner. Not the fact they see what you're doing good, they see what
the other guy's bad.
Right. So, but Jeff's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I'm glad that he's there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while when Craig left, I don't know if he was training at all, but he came to the yard and he's part of it. So
he's been there from day one. Yep. And anybody he trains that they're legit. I mean, it's impressive.
I can't say the one thing the training yard is. There's plenty of gyms in Jax. Training yard's the one place I've never heard anything bad.
Everybody's welcome.
And you won't.
Everybody's welcome. And Dean will not let you come in there and get beat up.
No.
He's big about that.
Well, that's what scares me because, Walt was like, man, you ought to come to the yard on Saturday. I'm like, bro, all you do is talk about how many fucking killers there are in this place on a Saturday.
But that doesn't mean that they're going to kill you.
Yeah. They're the nicest. Dude, fighters are the nicest.
Oh, yeah. Most of the ones
I've
met and come across, they're all really nice people.
I've never met an asshole fighter yet.
I've met a few.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't.
But, the vibe in there is like no other. You come in, there is no drama.
You don't feel left out.
No, yeah.
He immediately introduces himself to anybody that walks through the door and introduces everybody with them.
Yeah.
And there's no egos in that gym. That's really what it is. There's no egos, And if you come in with an ego,
he's going to get checked real quick.
Dean will see it, and it's a trip because Dean will be like, spar with that one. Go spar with this one. And you'll humble the guy. Either he'll do two things. He gets humbled and comes back, or he never comes back. And if he doesn't come back, he just doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you remember. There was a guy that came in one weekend, and he had a fight coming up, and he was kicking the bags while we were rolling like really hard. I mean, the building was shaking. And
I think I heard about this, but go ahead.
So he was kicking the bags. And we're like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Hey, chill out. We're rolling, stand up. We'll start in a field. Relax. But anyway, he kept kicking the bags, whatever. And Dean goes talks to Mike, I guess, and said, hey, why don't you spar with that guy? Whatever.
He was from Georgia.
I guess.
Yeah.
So Mike spars the guy, beats the shit out of him. It turns out that Big Mike was going to be his fight.
Oh, no shit.
He dropped out of the fight.
But didn't he also hurt Mike's knee?
No.
This was another time.
No. This was the one that you're talking about was
the Muay
recent.
Thai guys.
It was recent, yeah.
Okay.
This is, I want to say, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 4, 3.
Who? He knew he was fighting Mike, or did he not?
I don't think he knew it was Mike.
Listen, I wouldn't fight Mike.
No.
Let me tell you something. Mike's the nicest person in there. However, if you turn it up with him, he's going to let you know that he can still kick your ass. But in a cage, he is the meanest person I've ever seen fight. And when I'm talking about mean, he takes street fights, but he's perfect. I mean, he's talented enough that it don't look like, but he's mean. Like you go into a fight, you go in MMA, there's ground and pound, there's this. Dude, he hits you everywhere. You remember the baseball player? The Cuban guy that he fought at, it was Aqua at the time. It was a combat night.
Yeah.
He made that guy quit by hitting him in the ribs.
Oof.
The ribs.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is that the wife?
No.
Okay.
No, my son actually just did the walk-off. I mean, they beat him 6-0, but he walked off the game with a shot. So
Oh, nice.
now they're in the championship round. So
and you're missing.
that's what-
because you're
Was he
doing
play
this.
baseball?
Yeah, travel ball.
Well, let's see. Walk off sounds like baseball.
Well, I mean, it could be baseball, it could be softball.
Kids don't play softball. The fuck's wrong with
Girls
you?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and old guys like
Well, I
me.
don't know at the rate
Like
that this
me.
world's going with the gender thing. You could have guys playing softball. You're not too far off from that.
It's X ball.
I'm a girl.
Hey, we used to play church league. That was-
That's a blast.
Yeah,
It is,
I
but
used-
Jesus, man, it's some of the people that I played church ball with are some of the most degenerate motherfuckers I've ever come across in my life. I mean, legitimate degenerates.
Praise the Lord Jesus.
Yes, I mean,
Hallelujah.
Amen.
But remember, without us, he's just cheese. Hallelujah, brother.
That's funny as fuck. So, you're fighting for a good cause.
Yes.
I saw a post. Tell me about it.
Well, this is going to be hard.
Do I need to get tissues?
No, I'll
Okay.
be all right. I'll be all right.
All right.
And this where it's come. I've got more relationship with his father. I mean, me and his dad, he started riding with me. Like from day one when I got my first bike.
Yeah.
His name's Tom Traver.
Okay.
And that son bitch can ride. Dude, he is amazing on a bike. Trust me, but we know a guy that knew another guy that knew another guy that did a wheelie. And then the other guy got the cop off me. I'm just saying, and the guy clearly, the cop never caught him. But he used to do that all the time for us, by the way.
He was the decoy.
Yeah, he was the decoy. 'Cause you couldn't catch him. I mean, but when I was going through a rough time in my life, I had two really good friends I could rely on, Tom Traver and JT. So, and I could call him at any point in time, and I could ask him questions and they would tell me and he would know that I was stressed. He'd say, hey, let's go riding. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. So he was for me for a point in time that I really needed somebody. And he was that guy with another friend of mine. So, his son got diagnosed with cancer and, we all get so busy, we're running back and forth and I've got a couple of regrets because I felt like I wasn't there for him. I was really afraid to see a kid sick.
Yeah.
Especially somebody because the first thing you do is you put yourself in his shoes because you have children. And I avoided it for a long time. And I remember, and we were such great friends. I mean, we got away for a little while because you get in your own life.
Yeah.
But with best friends, dude, you can be away from a best friend for 3 or 4 years, and you can call them, and dude, it's like you never dropped off.
Oh, yeah,
Y'all
it's like-
never stopped being
It's
friends.
it's the next day.
Yeah, I mean, it's like y'all didn't even. That time is gone.
Right.
We went to lunch, went to BJ's, and of course, and what I love about this guy is he's struggling with his son, and he's asking me how my wife's doing. And, my wife has MS, and it's rough, but nothing like that. And it just to see the compassion that he has, he's not just talking about, he's just, he's that friend, and it blew my mind that he's still that. And until this day, he lost his son, dude. And he's asking me, how's my wife doing?
Right.
And I don't know the words to tell somebody, I literally text him every night. Hey, thinking of you, buddy. I don't know the right words to tell him, and I knew, and this was before I even knew how sick he was, by the way. And I ran into Mitchell. Mitchell hit me up on Facebook, says, hey, I want to do a show in Jacksonville. And I knew right then and there, if he's going to do a show in Jacksonville, I'm on it.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm not going to fight in my hometown. And I even told my wife, and my wife thought my last fight was my last one. And it really was. In my last fight, I literally donated all the money because, Josh, I had, seeing those guys, training with Matt Muncy and, Socrates. And,
I asked Dean about Muncie yesterday. I haven't seen him on Facebook.
well, he tried to cut weight real hard and got real sick and couldn't fight in Orlando. And it was real rough for him. And I'm surprised because he really doesn't need to fight that low. Muncie's a beast. I mean, I trained with him. He hits hard. His wrestling's phenomenal. His ground game's phenomenal. So I'm surprised he drops that much weight because he is a small guy, but he's still strong as shit.
Yeah.
And I donated the money then, so I do it for the hell of it. I'm not doing it. You don't do it for the money. at least I've never done anything for the money. You know, I work, you know, but when it comes to riding, I didn't ride for money. You know, yeah, they paid us, but if they didn't, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, still had fun.
I had a blast. And same thing with fighting. And when he told me he's doing a show, I already told him I was on it. So then I thought about it. Well, we went and ate lunch at BJ's, and he was telling me how they're fixing to try a new cancer or a new chemo, but the problem is the chemo would either kill you or save you.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 thing.
No, it's a 20% thing.
20% thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I understand, you got to think, you know, and I'm in the, my wife being sick,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to grab any percentage you can.
Right.
I don't give a shit if they tell me it's 5%. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a loved one. So when he did it that day, I decided that when we went to Mavericks for the last show, and, you know, Mitchell says, we're doing it. He gave us a date. It was October 1st, and then he changed it to November 10th. Well, I made it a point then. I already knew I was going to fight for Christian.
Right.
But I wanted permission. So I asked Tom first. He said, no problem. He said, I mean, it was an honor to him. I mean, but you still want to ask, you know?
Yeah.
So then, of course, I have to ask Mitchell. I say, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing. Of course, you know those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're unreal in the game. I think, what numbers are we on now? 90s. I mean, they're almost at 100.
I thought they were like 93 was the last one, or 94.
I think, was it?
I don't know. I can't remember.
They're up there.
Yeah.
With events. And all their events are legit people. I mean, I love going to their amateur shows because you really feel like you're going to a pro show.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids are fighting like professionals. You know, there's only going to be one or two that are a little
skeptical. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, the main events are always
fire.
Yep. So I got the permission. I didn't know how sick Christian was. Because I think if I'd have known how sick he was, I don't know. I still probably would have donated stuff, but I don't know if it would have been. I don't know. You know, I mean, September 7th, they put on Facebook, come see him. And I was afraid to see him. You know, I was terrified. Nobody wants to see a 14-year-old kid. He's 2 years older than my kid. You don't want to see a kid sick. You don't want to see a kid. I finally got enough nuts to go see him, and we were leaving. My son's in the exact same park this weekend that we were that Sunday. And I looked at my wife. It had been a long weekend, and my wife has, you know, MS wears on you. And I knew she was tired. I knew she wasn't feeling good. And I looked at her. I said, I need to go see Christian. She's like, all right. I get in there. I didn't make it in the door. I'm bawling. He couldn't talk. And he was in a lot of pain. But he could hear you. And I looked at Tom. And I said, hey, his oxygen was out of his nose. He heard me. So he puts it in his nose. Or he tries to. And, of course, Tom helps him. So you're rubbing on him. And, you know, you don't want to say much, you know, because the nurse told us that they just got him calmed down to try not to be too loud. And so, you know, I'm asking Tom all these questions, you know, and it's near the end. You could see it because he's having a hard time breathing. It already got to his lungs. And I was, dude, I wish I'd have seen him earlier. I wish I would have talked to him. That day, I changed my entire outlook on life. You know, one thing you can never take back is time. Money, you can make more money. You wreck a car, you fix it.
Buy a new one.
You buy a new one.
Yep.
Time you can never take back. Ever. Since that day, I've had lunch with my wife almost every day. I make time. I leave work. I go in. I take her to lunch. I kiss my kids 4 times in the morning, 4 times at night. I give my wife 6 hugs a day. That's how much of an impact this little kid made on me. To know, and yes, I wish I could take it back. I wish that I would still be working. You know, this kid, when he would smile, he could light up a room. This kid was amazing. I mean, just was never a bad kid. I don't think. Every time I talked to Tom, he'd tell me how great Christian was doing. You know, and I know I'm doing this, and I'm doing it, you know, because not only I'm not doing it for any other reason than I want everybody to know who Christian is, and I don't ever want. I want Christian Traver to, as long as I fight, everybody's gonna know who Christian is. He'll be. I'm gonna fight for him every time I fight. You know, and I want his dad to tell the story. You know, his dad made the comment that and this is where the time thing comes, that if he'd have known it'd been like this, he'd have said hell with chemo when he'd have run. They would have done a bucket list. You know, and I would love to see him take this experience and tell other parents. You know, give them the honest truth. don't be a doctor trying to make money. You know,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. If he'd have went in there and the first time they had it and said, hey, listen, these are your options. You know, don't give him false
hope. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Do me a favor. This is the cancer your kid has. It's incurable. Go enjoy him. No, instead, what they want to do, they want to make money. They turned him down from St. Jude's. Do you know why? Because he was too far gone and they can't take the chance of having a kid not make it, and it would mess up their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That is horrible.
Who the hell tells a parent that? I told Tom, I said, I'd have punched that doctor's face in.
How do you expect people to support that cost now?
I won't. I won't. You know,
That's rough.
that was heartbreaking. You know, especially when you're trying to do. He would take his life for his son. I guarantee it. I know he would.
Yeah, any parent would.
Any parent would. That's your son. You don't bury your son.
That's supposed to be the place who's leading, in kids, cancer and try to help them. I mean, that's kind of heartbreaking to hear.
It broke my when I heard it. But I'm going to tell you right now, it was a beautiful Sunday. His funeral was last Sunday, and it was amazing. They do a new thing called Celebration of Life, which I think whoever come up with it, they are brilliant. What you do is you go to the funeral in the morning, which that was rough. It really was, but it was still beautiful because of the service and everything, and all the friends coming around. It was friends and really close, and family. And then you go at 6:30, so you give yourself time to not be in that same. Because I guess once you go from a funeral, you're still grieving, you really are. And you aren't no more because you get a time, and then all of a sudden you see all of his friends. They're telling these stories about him, and you get to see him through them and everybody else. And the bad part about the awesome part about it is everybody had the same of him, so you knew how great of a kid he was. It was all about laughing. It was all about making people smile. I mean, I spoke, and I'll never forget because Tom. If you see him, you're like, I could take him, this guy. No, dude. His son bitch probably still beat the shit out of me and I train. We were at the Jetties one time, and this was shit, 10 years ago, probably longer than that. And I was messing with him because he's kind of heavy set at the time. He's a little bit more fit now because he goes to the gym now. I guess the older we get, we go to the gym. We try to stay in shape.
Yeah.
It's what
I gotta
keeps
get
us.
on that.
Yeah, whatever. You just make it look different, whatever. So I told him, I turn around to him, and I go, I was like, bitch, you can't catch me. Dude, before I could take a step, I was eating sand. I looked at him, and I'm like, dude. I said, get off of me. He said, I thought I couldn't catch you. And he calls me fuckface. That's what he calls me all the time. That's his thing. Hey, fuckface. So that story's been around forever. Well, yeah, I'll never get over this. So it's been a while. It was my kid's fourth birthday. And I told this story, and I think I told the only where I said my kid said he was mean story. But I was referring to the fact that he reminds me of his dad. And to me, that's the biggest compliment in the world. When somebody comes to me and tells me, that's you, that these are your kids, they remind me of you.
Hey, these monsters are definitely yours.
That's Caveman Jr. That's the biggest form of compliment to me. I don't care if they're being bad or whatever it is. That's my kids. I mean, that's, that makes me feel accomplished, and they come and it's a trip, and Christian's on the dirt hill. Grumpy used to have this dirt mound behind. Because honestly, let's be honest, the first 6 birthdays are all about the parents.
Yeah.
There's cake and ice cream there and presents, but it's about the parents. I mean, we're cooking out, we're drinking, we're having a blast. The kid has no idea what's going on.
Never will remember.
Yeah, exactly. and I'll never forget, my son comes running around, and he had a face full of dirt. And he goes, that kid's mean. I said, which kid? The one that come with your friend. I said, which one? And he said, Christian. He pushed me off the hill. I said, dude, that's king of the hill. You lose. I mean, that's my first mentality. But I thought it was hilarious because the next day in my mouth, I'm like, that's definitely Tom's kid. And obviously from experience,
right? Because
the older one, I ate sand. My youngest one ate dirt. But it's not. He was a king of the hill. He wasn't being mean by no means because the whole party, the kid smiles from ear to ear.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the story I told, which at the time my clear was the only one that said my kid said he was mean, but I don't know if they really know what I was meaning is the fact that he's identical to his dad. You know, I mean, he was sarcastic. You know, his dad was telling the story, you know, at the celebration, and he goes, and his dad used to always wear it. I love the shirt he used to wear. It says, "Nice shoes. Wanna fuck?" and it was a great shirt that he used to always wear. And so he always has that sarcastic mentality. And, you know, he was telling his son, this was in the end days, and his son was getting a lot of tissue because I guess they were really got the news and they were really upset. You know, he's getting all these tissues out. And of course, Tom looks back and he's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "What are you going to do? Stuff them in your bra?" And he takes them and stuffs them in his pants. You know what I mean? And I mean, that just shows you what kind of kid that was during that time. And kids are amazing. You know, during that time, you know, all he was worried about was his dad. You know, a good friend of mine, Ian, got the opportunity to talk to him. He was one of the last ones that held, a very long conversation with him. And of course, Ian, if you know Ian was always in my corner as an amateur. He was actually,
I know Ian. He's been at the yard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he got the luxury of talking to him, and the only thing that kid wanted was to make sure his dad was okay. Ian obviously started bawling instantly. I mean, you do when you know somebody. I mean, you don't. Yeah. If you really love somebody, you do. You don't do it just to do it. And Ian was bawling, and he looks at Ian and says, "Ian, I'll be all right. I got this." I mean, a kid that's on his deathbed is telling a grown man, "I got this. I'm good." That's fearless to me, and that was one thing he wanted everybody to know. He wanted his dad to be okay, and this is an honor for me. You're going to see people there. They're not there to watch me fight. They're there for that kid. They're there for his dad. That's the impact his dad's had on this community. I mean, dude, one company alone bought 75 tickets.
Nice.
One company, BMC building materials. It's a building material.
Yeah.
company.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
75.
Shout out to them.
Amazing, you know. And not to mention, I mean, Mitchell literally calls me and goes, "Dude," he said, "you weren't joking." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "We've already sold 100 tickets."
Wow.
They're over a month out. He says they don't sell 100 tickets 2 weeks out.
But they're always packed.
They are, but not
It's always probably day of.
Well, that's what he's telling me, that this he said he don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he said this show's going to be packed, and they're still not buying tickets. I got 25 tickets from him yesterday. They're sold already.
Wow.
I texted him last night when I got home. I said, "Donnie, I got tickets. You need to sell them." Okay. She comes to me 10 minutes later. She goes, "Tickets are sold." So I text Mitchell. I said, "I need more tickets." So they're sold.
Now, is Mitchell based out of Tallahassee, or where is he based out of?
He's Miami, isn't he?
He's Orlando now.
Okay.
Orlando, so
Yeah.
he's okay. So he's like at a midpoint.
But he's comes. I mean, obviously they're always going to represent Tallahassee. That's where
Yeah.
they started. That's where they come from.
Right.
But I believe he does live in Orlando now.
Okay.
Or close to that area.
Okay.
So, and that's another thing. I mean, even this organization that he started, I mean, it's unbelievable. Combat Night's unreal. You know, I mean, I've been on the big show. CFA was a big show. You know?
What happened to them?
They took care of their fighters too much.
Oh. Okay.
You know, the
What was
guys.
their downfall?
They paid their fighters very well. These fighters, dude. I was getting paid $1,200 and $1,200. You did a system when you were a debut guy. My first debut was $900, $1,800. Right now, the UFC pays $3,000 and $3,000. I mean, to anybody and you got to have more than 3 fights now.
Yeah.
To even be looked at in the UFC, unless you're CM Punk.
Yeah.
Hey, he's
Friend of the show.
friend of the show. Be careful.
No, he's awesome. No, but he's awesome though, because he sells tickets. Did you see that was the biggest pay-per-view they had, was having him on the show?
A lot of people like to say he sucks, this, that, and the other, and you know what? Maybe.
No, he's not.
But what have you done to make it to any kind of show?
This is the thing. He went right into the elite.
Yeah.
UFC is the elite of the elite.
It is.
You cannot tell me there's not one fighter in the UFC ain't a badass. They all are.
They are. There's a
They
reason
have to
why
be.
they're there.
If he would have got more experience, I think, on smaller shows,
he would have done
way
better.
up, he would have done 10 times better.
Yeah.
He's fighting the best of the best.
And they put him up against a fucking killer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And even then, his second fight, the balls of that guy, just to hang on for dear life.
Oh, yeah, because he was getting fucking raw.
And he was trying. You could see it that he was trying to get this guy down and trying to put him in some sort of submission. You know, he was hanging on his neck.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't have anything bad to say. I mean, I can't say anything bad about anybody. Not about a football player, not about a baseball player, not about a basketball player. Definitely not an MMA guy.
Or a wrestler.
Or a wrestler.
Dude.
Those
guys are athletes.
I've never been in that position, so I can't say you suck.
Yeah, I would have done it different.
I could look at him and say, okay, well, you may not be as skilled as this guy, but no, you don't suck.
No.
You know, because it takes a lot of balls to get into a fucking cage knowing that you're going to get punched in the face. You're going to possibly bleed, you know, lose some teeth, you know. I just can't bring myself to say that any athlete in any professional field sucks, regardless of whether I support that team or not. You know,
No, because they're specimens.
They are.
And most of your wrestlers were phenomenal athletes.
Yeah.
My uncle was a Big Bully Busick for WWE.
Holy shit!
He just passed
That's a
last year. Actually, no, this year he did. May.
What era did he wrestle? 70s, 60s?
With the Sheik, the Iron Sheik, Hulk Hogan.
Oh, the 80s.
Yeah.
Well,
the
you got to
80s.
remember that the 80s, you know, that was.
They built it.
But that was coming from the 70s.
Yeah.
I got to watch him, I got to watch him wrestle when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because you see these guys, and he was huge, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's, and I say he's my uncle. I'm like an adopted nephew. You know, my aunt, I call her Aunt Lolo. When I was a kid, she used to help my mom watch us when we were little. Well, she's got a monster of a son. He's actually a professional MMA fighter now. He actually fought Bellator and actually fought their next and up and coming. And I wish he'd have thrown his hands more. He was he's an Ohio State champ wrestler. Ohio, Steubenville. And played college football. His name's Bronco. That's his name, Bronco Busick.
Music.
He's a monster. I mean, he's mean too. But the nicest guy you ever meet when you meet him. But
except if you're in the cage with him.
Yeah, dude, I've seen him demolish guys. I mean, and it's scary.
Man, I used to love wrestling. I don't watch it as much now. Every once in a while, I'll stop to see what's going on. I want to see what Chris Jericho's doing because he's like one of the old timers that are still around. I mean, he hasn't been wrestling for the last year, but in
I think
WWE,
he just does run-ins now.
Well, he did a show. It was an indie show. It was called All In with the Bullet Club, and
Oh yeah, DDP was talking about that one.
yeah. So he did a run in there. Then he did the Tokyo Dome where he wrestled Kenny Omega, and that was like a big show. But he hasn't been really doing much because he's touring with his band. But every once in a while, I will stop in just to see what's going on. I can't get into it like I used to.
Nah.
But man, I still have a lot of respect for those guys. They're fucking athletes.
I still enjoy. I think what'll happen is probably
100%.
the same thing that's happening to me is that you're still interested in it for the guys that you knew growing up watching wrestling, and then unfortunately, once those people pass, a little bit more of that wanting to see it kind of goes with them, and then eventually, once Jericho's no longer doing run-ins and whoever Hogan's no longer doing anything, which I don't think he's really done anything in
Hogan
5 years.
But you want to know something though? You're right to the adult side of it, but
the kids still pick it up.
The kids.
Yeah, the kids still pick
I
it
will
up.
tell you this though, and probably I think it was 91. I quit watching wrestling. I found out it was fake, Poppy. I was so devastated as a kid because you're watching as a kid and you're like, this is real. And then all of a sudden you find out it's fake. But
listen, it's predetermined. It's not fake.
It's really not fake though.
No.
The son of them, like I got a chance to meet Dusty Rhodes when I lived in Atlanta.
Yeah,
His
baby.
son, a phenomenal wrestler. And you can see because he used to cut his forehead. with a
Yeah.
razor
All those
blade.
guys back in the 70s
Yeah.
and 80s did.
And you could see
The scars.
all the scars. And the nicest guy you ever meet. Still a big guy, by the way.
Yeah.
But his
He
son is
passed,
phenomenal
yeah.
wrestler. Yeah, he did. So, but it's a rough sport. They
It is.
beat their bodies up.
They travel
Yeah,
at least 300 days out of the year.
Yes,
That's rough. How do you maintain a family?
and you're still getting beat up. You know.
Yeah.
If you ever, how about when you're doing drills and you're getting slammed in the mat,
Man,
dude?
fuck that. I mean,
If you don't know how to fall,
Oh.
that shit hurts.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
and you
it
can know how to
does.
fall, and then all you got to do is just not do it quite right once.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this night's going to just fucking suck now.
Steven, by the way, Steven does a phenomenal class. I told him, as long as I keep coming to his class, I'm clearly going to be in shape.
Steven
Coslow.
Coslow.
Yeah.
His class?
Yeah, dude.
I heard.
Son,
I
it's
heard-
rough.
I heard his class makes you suck wind.
Bad.
Bad.
And it's for the good, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously.
well,
Why do you
guys-
think his cardio is the way it is?
Oh, I know. I mean, he's like the Energizer Bunny, dude.
Yeah.
Well, that and he's fucking, what, 21 years old?
Yeah. You remember those days?
Yeah,
Bro.
fuck. 21 years old. I didn't even know what the word tired was.
I didn't even know what sleep was.
No.
You drink all night. You
He's-
work all day. You drink all night.
Yeah.
You work all day.
Fucking rinse, repeat
Yeah.
every day for
His
years.
testosterone's got to be through the fucking roof. You know?
But the last class we had was a lot of takedown,
Yeah.
and I was with George.
Yeah.
Dude, I was hurting. I hurt after his class every time. Like,
Well, what are you doing, bro?
Something
This
refreshed.
thing, yeah,
Oh.
Yeah,
I saw
refreshed.
oh,
Yeah, I saw it out the corner of my eye.
You know
too.
what you got to do?
Smoke weed
Every day.
hey, as long as they wouldn't test me, I'm Nate Diaz. That son of a
Yeah.
bitch. I'd be in the stands.
That's what I've told my wife. I was like, I just want you to fully understand. Once I retire and I'm done, and I never have to worry about a random, expect me to be that granddad. I will be fucking stoned.
But you imagine how good it's going to be by the time?
Oh, it's gonna be
Dude,
great.
it's great now.
I don't know. I haven't smoked any for sure in 13 years.
My wife has MS. So, you know, they push a lot of pills on you. And she won't take, my wife is very intelligent when it comes to her disease. I
Yeah.
mean, she's very smart, you know, and she won't take, they want to give her narcotics.
Mhm.
I had one doctor, and you know the doctors can't do this, by the way, call me to tell me he's worried about my wife because she won't take the medication that he prescribed her.
You mean you can't sell her the medication?
Exactly. The best part about it is the medication was taken off the shelf 2 weeks later. It was killing people.
Yeah.
She researches every medication she
Yeah.
gets.
Well,
Well, anyways, where I'm getting at this, her best medication is that.
Mhm.
It gets her through. It doesn't,
Smoke weed every day.
bam, and it gets her through to the day.
listen,
You know,
make it legal all across. Boom.
Hell.
You get rid of so much shit.
but do you know they're doing CBD oils and fighting now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's the doctor I went to for somebody else's injury on his knee
Right,
and
right.
got it drained.
Yeah, that
Um,
guy.
That guy. He had just left a seminar up north. Cody Garbrandt was there.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson has his own
Mike
CBD
Tyson.
oil thing. He has the company.
Listen, I got the CBD oil for
Good
you.
for you. Good for
What's
you.
the one guy who's
He's got Holyfield's ear in it.
the meme that has been going around? What was his? God damn it! He's a UFC fighter. He left to start his own weed business.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
all of them. Been,
Well, no, big black guy.
oh,
Anthony.
Anthony.
Rumble,
There you go, Rumble.
That never sit down.
Yeah.
Well, hey, he knew exactly
Yeah.
who it was.
Well, my wife follows him because he also breeds French bulldogs, and that's,
Oh, really?
that's our next dog. We still have pit
Well, did
bulls
you-
right now.
You didn't see what was downstairs, then, did you?
Uh,
Well, it's not
A
a
brand
Frenchie. A
new
brand new
puppy.
English.
9-week-old.
English.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we just got him.
I could have brought
Got
my
her
wife here.
yesterday.
She'd been
Why do
playing
you
with
think
the
he's
dog.
been in my lap the whole time?
Oh,
Yeah, he's not.
He's mad.
He's
Yeah.
neglected.
He's a little
Yeah.
jealous.
He's
Yeah.
jealous.
That's
You
my
should
nephew.
be.
That's
You
my
should be.
nephew.
Yeah,
my
we,
nephew.
we had a Frenchie. Me and my wife, we started with Englishes, and then we adopted a Frenchie. Had him for a few years till he, passed, and then we haven't had any bulldogs since really, God, 9 years now, I guess.
Damn.
Maybe. So she saved up her money and all like that, and she found a group that some breeders on Instagram. That's the great thing about Instagram.
You can find everything.
Yeah, you can find anything.
Adopt, don't shop.
Well, I'd like to, but the problem is
I ain't adopting nothing.
especially bulldogs are a little. That's
You don't
a
want to
different
adopt
breed.
bulldogs. You got to get. My dogs come from Alabama.
Okay.
Okay, you pay a lot of money for them because you don't want a crazy pit bull,
Yeah.
and people don't realize
Hey.
what that is.
I love my dogs.
But is it a good one though?
Mm,
Is
I
it?
mean-
I mean,
No.
No.
No, she's good.
But I mean,
All my dogs are good.
She
I
hesitated, didn't she?
Yeah.
A
no,
lot.
listen. I got Buster 2004.
fake news.
From a rescue, but it was a group. It was a litter of like 7 or 8 dogs. Got him. He was like 5 weeks old.
so you got him as a puppy.
I got him as a puppy, but then he was abused by my ex, so he became a lot more aggressive. Not towards people. He did have some issues, but mostly towards other animals. Which then I got Buddha, and he did fine. But anytime other dogs would come around, he would like attack them, and. So it was a couple years actually after, so we had Bradley, who my ex just went to the pound, picked up a dog and brought him back, didn't do anything proper, and had no idea what this dog had been through. He was already an adult dog. They started fighting, and it's just a nightmare to deal with. So I will always adopt, but I will adopt young.
Yeah. Well, because you can raise it, it's not been, and it is sad. I mean, it is a very sad situation.
No, I spent a fucking, week in the hospital with emergency hand surgery back in March.
Oh, Lord.
Because my Buster was blind and deaf, and Molly, she's my pit bull boxer, but I got her at 7 weeks. All of a sudden, there's something switched. I don't know if she sensed, like, the death in him. He was getting in his time. Yeah. So she started attacking him, and I had just had a hysterectomy.
Oof.
And I'm not supposed to be doing anything. I'm not supposed to be out of bed, really. And she accidentally was left out. My daughter didn't shut the gate all the way. And I was by myself. They got into a fight. I went to split them up. Buster, who's blind and deaf, didn't know. He latched onto my hand.
Yeah.
So that got infected.
Yeah, she wound up taking a canine into the knuckle.
Through the knuckle.
Oh.
Yeah,
And then,
so those are always good.
Yeah, no.
But no, my dogs weren't bad. They weren't like the typical pit bull, but
I've got, my big thing with that is I have kids. So
Yeah.
I want to know where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. And the breeder that I dealt was from Alabama. And it was hilarious, by the way. I'll never forget. My wife, we're sitting on the couch and she goes, "Hey, I want to breed pit bulls." And I'm like,
my name is Jeff.
yes. Mhm. So I was like, all right, no problem. So, of course, we did research for months to find the right breeder, find somebody that breeds them right, because that's really the big thing. You find the right breeder. Well, we found one in Alabama, and it was hilarious when we got there. He was the biggest Asian Irish redneck you would ever meet.
Oh, I love those.
Yes. And when you talk to him on the phone, he's like, "Hey, Jake, how you doing?" So you don't think you're going to get, and of course, we're sitting down by the dog, of course, the first thing he does it to everybody. He goes, "So, how long did it take y'all to say I didn't think he looked like that?" I said, "Dude, the minute you pulled up, coolest dude you'd ever meet was during the time we've got all of our dogs from him. I don't go, and that's why I said we're probably not getting more because he doesn't breed anymore. We don't breed anymore; it's too much.
Yeah.
It got to the point where my wife was so bad when she'd breed. If she didn't like the people, she wouldn't sell the dog to them.
Yeah.
If she didn't like what they say,
Mm-hmm.
she wouldn't sell the dog to them.
Mhm.
Shit was hilarious.
I know
People are assholes.
There's been quite back when we bought our female, because we had a male and a female bulldog. Our female we got from a woman here local, Green Cove. And she'd tell us that. She goes, you had to come and meet her
Mm-hmm.
and sit down, and you sat down at her dining room table with her and her husband, and you just talked. Just had conversation for about an hour. And then she decided if she was going to sell you a dog.
Because she knows how you're reacting and how you equate.
Yeah.
I'd want to go see their
question-
house. I'd want to, I wouldn't be able to.
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, because
let a dog
she
go
was
like that.
this woman. Her last name was Hindle. She was old lady. We're talking 70. Her husband was in his 80s. Old style country home with just bulldog shit everywhere, but just the nicest people. You sit down and they talk. So, why do you want a bulldog? It's like, we have one. You should have brought him. Why didn't you bring him? We would love to see him. And just sat there and talked to him. Greatest thing. One of the granted, now she was that female we had. She was as dumb as a box of rocks. I mean, just lovable, but just dumb as shit. One of the dumbest dogs I have ever owned.
And that's the one thing with the dogs. Our dogs are, I'm not trying to, they're brilliant, dude. Our dogs are, I could tell my dog to go to the room, go find the kid, go outside, go do this. Every pit bull, because we bred 2 litters. You know, and now these dogs we sold these dogs for $3,500 a piece.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, good pit bulls ain't cheap.
And if the dog was out of town, I had to drive with her to drop it off to make sure we were going to leave it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we did yesterday. We had to drive down to past Rockledge to meet the guy, which then wound up because he had a family emergency. So then we wound up going west, deeper into Florida to meet him. You know, and Amanda, my wife, she's like, you know, you got your gun? I was like, no, you kind of told me to leave it. She was like, I was just wondering because we were having issues, and he just kind of picked an address. And when I looked it up, I was like, this is a fucking house. You know, this isn't PetSmart where we were meeting.
Yeah.
We're now going to a house. You know, so we played it. Played the interaction way differently. It was like, you know, we're not parking right where we're supposed to meet.
We need to have a conversation with you.
Well,
You left your house without a gun?
yeah, I know.
Come on, dude.
I know. Stupid me.
Don't ever do that again.
No, but I told
Please.
because the kids, they were like, the kids were super excited about, getting the puppy, and I was like, no, y'all are fucking sitting in the car. Do not get out, until I go.
But then again, you got big guy coming up, so you're really going to think, all right, y'all give him the dog. Don't mess with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. He was a very small. He wasn't Puerto Rican. He was Cuban, but very small guy. As soon as he come out, immediately, I am so sorry. Tried to give me a hug right off the bat. I'm like, oh, okay, you're a hugger.
Papi, no papi, no.
Yeah. Super nice guy, super apologetic. I was just like, okay, cool. Because the problem is in those situations, you've already paid for a dog.
Yeah.
So we've already paid, and they're not cheap. So a lot of money have already went out, and we don't have anything yet. And then it starts getting flaky-ish. So you start, I didn't.
Worrying.
Yeah, my wife's anxiety's ramping up and just freaking out until she saw the dog. As soon as she saw it and held it, life is good.
Yeah.
Life is great. But the thing with pits, I love them because they are literally the multi-tool of dogs. If you want it to be a hunting dog,
It can
be. If you want it to be a bay dog, it can. You want it to catch, it can. You want it to be a fucking couch potato, it can. And it's happy doing any and all of these jobs.
Like my pit bull. She is a couch potato.
Yeah.
Mine is. My female is. That dog.
I got a Chihuahua Dotson mix.
Yeah.
Because you Mexican, ain't you?
Mm.
You like the...
Hey, I fell in love with her. What can I say?
Oh, she's a great dog. I love Maria.
Yeah.
She's great.
Maria.
But my buddies, they used to have, they had the only other dog that because the one that we have downstairs now, that's my wife's dog. That was for her. I told her, I said, that's cool. The next dog, I get to choose. It's mine. She's like, all right. Because she knows what I'm going to go with. I'm probably going to go with a Catahoula.
Ooh, those are awesome.
And that's the thing.
Catahoula!
Catahoula, leopard dog. Because a lot of the guys I've dealt with, talked to, one of my buddies, he's got 2 of them. They are one of those great dogs that they can transition from
Anything.
whatever you want. But then as soon as they literally come through the door into the house, we are a house dog. We are sitting and laying on the floor and being couch potatoes.
Well, and they're great family dogs.
Yeah, because he has kids and all like that, and his 2 Catahoulas are just perfect.
I have a Catahoula.
Do you?
Yeah, Buddha's, he's some type of, he's a mix, but pretty sure he's a blackmouth cur Catahoula.
Okay.
Cur dogs are amazing dogs.
Yeah.
He is.
They are if you know what you're getting.
So high energy.
Because when me and my wife, we've been together since we were 15. And when she was probably around 17 or 18, she didn't get a cur, but she went to the pound and she adopted a dog. And I come home and she goes, hey, I got a dog. And we walk into the backyard and I'm going, why the fuck do you have a walker? You have a Ridgeback walker. Why do you have a hunting dog? And she's like, it's not a hunting dog. Yes, that is. I know these. We have them. Do you know what you're doing with this? She's like, yeah, it's going to be a dog. Da, da, da. It lasted 3 weeks with her because she didn't know what to do with it. It's outside howling at the fucking moon because it wants to go. It wants to do a job.
They gotta work.
They're work dogs.
It's chewing on fucking concrete because it has nothing to do. And that's what she realized. She goes, I didn't know what the fuck I was getting into. And so we contacted a buddy of mine who lived up in Hilliard. He's like, hey, got a great working dog. If you want one, it's a hunting dog. It's a walker. He's like, fuck yeah, bring it. Cool. We gone.
Buddha is so high energy.
Right. You have to get their energy out.
Yeah. If not, they become problems.
I feel like he's like Coslow. You can't. There's just no.
He never stops.
He never
But neither does
stops.
Shelby. They're
No,
like two peas in a
she's-
pod.
So I've known Shelby since she started jujitsu in Gainesville.
Okay.
So I've known her for a couple of years, and she was always so like timid with her rolling, even though she's super strong. I
Not
mean,
anymore.
no.
She beats you
I
up
saw
now.
that shit open up, and I was like, finally, like, because I'd always be like, "You're so strong. It's okay to
She's
use
humble.
it." But she's super humble.
Yeah.
But it was so nice to see her actually use her jujitsu in the right way, controlled, and she fucking killed that girl.
That's an understatement.
She smashed that.
She.
girl.
Let me tell you something. My two kids are fascinated by Shelbs.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I call her, Shelbs. But anyway, fascinated by her. And Taylor. They were big fans of Taylor's. If you watch, my youngest son's always flocking to
Around
Shelby.
them.
Yeah.
Don't let her
He
on
just
her
thinks
Instagram.
it's cool. He really does. He does push-ups with her. Like yesterday. You know, she'll roll with him. She's great with kids too.
Yeah.
You know, she'll roll with him. She'll spar a little bit with him, and they think she's the cool. They flat out said, "Dad, we can't wait till she makes it to the UFC." Literally, what my sons told me. Now, clearly, Cameron likes her because she's pretty.
Yeah.
So I know why Cameron likes her. JJ likes her, I think, because he's fascinated that
She's
woman.
a girl and she's badass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's. He flat out told me, he said, "Dad, she's better than most of the guys in here."
I was at a jiu-jitsu tournament where I had to go against a girl that was probably a good 100 pounds more than me.
So, I know how you feel.
Yeah.
Hey,
I lasted
I
the
just
whole
caught
round.
that.
He wished me all the time.
I lasted the whole round. I lost on points, but I gave every bit of energy I had in that match. Well, then they're like, "Oh, no-gi time. Taylor's up," and I was like, "No, I can't even stand up." Like, nope, she can go wrestle with the boys. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because I knew her. I've seen her.
Yeah, Taylor's taking some time off from
Boys.
all of it.
Boys.
They're boys.
I every now and then I asked her dad last time. I said, "Where's Taylor?" He goes, "She got a boyfriend."
Well, what happened to Levi?
It's still him, right?
Oh, I don't know who the. I didn't ask. I just
Oh,
know
okay.
she's got a. I was told
She's 18. She's got
Yeah.
boyfriend. She's got other
yeah
priorities right
yeah.
now. She'll come back. She'll always be there.
yeah
Anna's doing really good.
yeah. She's a monster on the
Yeah.
mat though.
I miss rolling with her.
She's on the wrestling team, bro. At Fletcher. You didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she's been doing the wrestling. She kind of
She's on
stepped
the
back
wrestling
from jiu-jitsu.
team, beating up boys.
I'm just glad to see that there's high schools now in Jacksonville that actually have wrestling teams.
Well, you'd be surprised because I mean that's where I got in. I wrestled at Ed White, you know, and obviously everybody up north.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Bam. And Lee High School had a girl wrestler, by the way.
Well, see, I went to UC, and which they have a wrestling
Yes.
now, but when I was at UC,
They didn't.
it was your standard football baseball. Because I know Roberto back. I don't know if he's still coaching them. I know back in the day.
No, it's because my brother went to UC and it's hilarious because his coach, Coach Mandarin, when I was in high school, and I beat the brakes off of his top guy at conference, and then when he found out that Gabe was my brother, he's like, "Oh, great, I got another state, wrestler. I got this, Nah, he. I said he wasn't raised like us. I said he's been babied. I said he's a baby, and he's like, toughen him up this summer. Toughen him up. I said you ain't toughening this kid up. He's fragile.
Yeah, I was just like because my youngest boy he does jiu-jitsu at our gym, and it's I don't know why I'm competitive. My wife's competitive. We were both competitive. My kid has absolutely zero competitive bone in him at all. None. He enjoys it. He has fun, but it's like, hey, push a little harder, get that, win the game. It's all right. It's
But
like,
does he have? He don't have a sibling to push to be.
well, he's got a sister, and they're assholes to each other. But
because that's really Cameron, my youngest, or my oldest. By the way, dude, when he was born, I knew I was gonna have my hands full. I'm telling you right now, dude, I was slated to go to Vegas a week after he was born. I had qualified we did an East Coast and a West Coast qualifier for XDL, and it's out of like 200 something riders. I was the top 10 on the East Coast side, and you had top 10 on the West Coast side. And then they had the last minute qualifier in Vegas for certain riders that were doing shows. I was going. I had plane tickets. I invited people from overseas that that I went to do shows for. I mean, I had it set. Dude, that little sucker was born wide open. Never cried when he was born. Wide open in the incubator. The only kid in there. And I mean, his feet are moving. His hands are moving. His eyes are everywhere. He's looking all over the place. I'm like, man, this is some cool ass shit. And obviously, as a father, first thing you take pictures is nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, you got big bull
Like,
nuts.
yeah, look at these. That's mine. So, and dude, that was my day in the light that I felt accomplished. Like, I mean, I haven't done anything in my lifetime to make me feel that way in my life. And dude, that Friday rolled around. I never told she wasn't my wife at the time, but I never told Donnie that I was not going. I didn't say a word to her. She thought I was still going. My friends flying from Puerto Rico. That's where they were coming from, by the way. And I looked at them. I said, I ain't going. I said, y'all go. I said, Aaron's there. My brother was there.
Yeah.
Y'all go. Enjoy yourselves. And, of course, my one friend's like, no. And so she comes out. She's not leaving. I said, hell no. I said, crazy? Look at this thing. This thing's awesome. It's like a new toy. I mean, the dude was he was phenomenal, And of course, through the years, I had to race with him. The minute he started walking, he would run. We would race to the grocery store. We raced to the car. We'd race. He would never win, by the way. No false sense of security.
No.
None.
No,
we
don't.
That.
Yeah, we don't give wins in this house.
Smoke them, right? Well, JJ was born.
And then you make fun of them, too.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And so JJ was born, and that's where the competition came in. Now, obviously, he was always been competitive, but JJ was laid back until JJ started being able to compete with Cameron. That's why JJ goes to the gym all the time, to compete with his brother.
Got to get a day. Can't let somebody get a day up.
Right. He's got to beat Cameron, and that's his thing. And so they're competitive as hell right now.
Yeah, because Cameron had been playing baseball for the last couple of weeks while JJ's been at the gym.
Yes. And JJ's getting better, and I know what he's doing. But that's where I think JJ got the competitive, because JJ wasn't competitive until that whole chemical reaction thing comes in.
I think it's coming because the other day he asked me, one of the students, he's got a stripe on his belt, and we were getting ready for school, and we were sitting in the kitchen talking, and he's like, hey, I want one of those. And I was like, well, what? He goes, I want one of those things on my belt. And I went, a stripe? He goes, yeah. I went, well, you got to get better. You got to get better, and you got to, go more. Okay.
Watch. That's going to be.
It's like, all right.
Watch. And that shows you he does have it in him. He just hasn't been pushed yet. Because really, some kids have to be pushed.
Yeah. And I think it's going to take that as soon as that stripe gets put on the belt, then it's just going to dominate.
He's going to want another one.
He's going to want another one. Yeah. You mean I can get more of these? Oh, you mean I
could change a color?
You mean I can change a color? Oh, I'm getting ready to start fucking you up, Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's strong.
That's easy to do.
Yeah, I'm a pussy. My jiu-jitsu sucks.
Don't feel bad.
Maybe if you win more.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. Dean did give me a big compliment first time. First time I've ever got a compliment from Dean. And he goes, because you know me, I'm a wrestler. So you roll with me. It's kind of boring sometimes. I literally just get on top of you and I just hold your ass there because I know I'm going to strike the shit out your ass. That's my theory. If I can hold you there, I'm going to beat you up. I'm not really looking to submit you. However, I did have a lot of submissions yesterday. That's another compliment he gave me. He's like, I seen you doing submissions, dude. Usually what you do with me is we do a lot of rolling, a lot of moving around, and I do a lot of grabbing and squeezing. Well, we're sitting there, and he's one of the classes he really took just for me, really. He's teaching me how to do – he wants me to get a full mount, but not by exposing myself. So he went over that whole class really – for stuff from me, from being inside control, telling me where he wants me to be, from holding the legs to, all that was really for my fight coming up.
Yeah.
And he looks at me and he goes, dude, he says, I don't want to hear this black belt shit. He said, because you on top of somebody, you're like a black belt on top of somebody. He said, your problem is when you get in their guard. He said, if you're in their guard, he said, you're scarred. He said, but if you're inside control, he says, dude, he said, you can't. I said, he goes, I'm telling you right now, there's not many people that can get you off of them. And I was like, damn, he gave me a compliment. I was like, hell yeah. And then the other day he gave another one because I actually was submitting people. And really the reason is I'm coming in the gym. I'm actually listening.
See?
I'm coming to the
You
roll.
go more and you progress.
Why are you looking at me?
and he made the comment to me last Monday. That's the whole deal with me changing my style of fighting.
Yeah.
He goes, tonight was a good night for you. He said, because you were a student tonight. He said, you come in here and be a student. He says, and he says, I'm telling you. He says, we're going to kill this guy. He says, but you have to be a student. And he was right. So literally, I'm in there now. I look like I'm like a 12-year-old kid with a backpack and a notepad. I'm watching everything he's doing. I'm trying to take it in. Obviously, it's harder when you're older. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He'll be getting me sidetracked when we do all the combinations, by the way, because I'm thinking, all right, we're just gonna do this one, and then we're gonna add this, and then I'm like, whoa, and then you turn
One
around.
thing
And,
I get lost when I take those classes.
dude,
I get lost because I don't know all those combos.
dude, and then
3-2-3, 5-6-5. I'm like, what?
or if they have a different number on what you're used to,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Amanda, like, for the strike fit. She's getting it, but, like, you know, because Art will start, you know, pretty simple, you know, normally a 1-2, you know, and then we'll start going, you know, 1-2, you know, maybe a 2-2-3, you know, and start mixing it up. And then come, you know, about 20 minutes into the class, you know, you're throwing a jab with a looping hook, with a shot to the
kick
body,
or a-
and then a leg kick, and then a teep, and, you know, and she's like, you know, everybody got it? All right, good. You know, go. And she'll look at me, what the fuck are we doing? Like, that's cool. I got you. Just come here. You know,
watch.
we'll go through it nice and slow. You got it? Okay. You know, as long as she could see it a few times, and it's like, all right, cool.
The cool part about it, though, is a lot of these punching combinations become natural to someone that's been fighting for a while.
Yeah.
Because then you'll get in and we'll start doing them, and their naturals can be. I mean, you do them anyway. And there's some times where I'll get through it. I'm like, damn, I just did all those. What the hell? But it's because you've been fighting for so long, and it's a natural combination. You know, you're doing the slip. From the slip, you're doing bam, bam, 1-2, or the 1-3, or the 2-3, and stuff like that. And of course, it's a workout. You know, and it's, I mean, so now I'm a student. That's my thing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the crazy thing is from Dillashaw and Bang on their last time on Rogan's, they were kind of talking about their combinations. The way they call them out are real different. Like, Dwayne will just say a number, you know, 5, and 5 will be, you
Like
know,
a
a whole
like
combination,
a 6 combination punch.
a whole
combo.
combination string. It's like, fuck.
But that's also during the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. And you know, I'm a sucker to Cody Garbrandt. And the only reason is
put
because
that boo on.
you
What?
better not. You better not. And I'm gonna throw this phone at your ass. That's my
Yeah, he likes Cody.
Hey, but it's not. But this is why I like him. When I was first starting pro, this is my Uncle Nick and my Aunt Lori Busick. She's always been a big fan of MMA.
Yeah.
You know, and she watched every fight that I've ever been in. She streamed it, but she literally texted me one night and she goes, "I want you to pay attention to this name." Now, this was, I mean, when I went pro, 34. I think it was 34.
Okay.
So 6 years, almost 7 years ago, she goes, "I want you to remember his name, Cody Garbrandt. You know, he wrestled up there, phenomenal wrestler."
Right.
She goes, "He's going to be champ one day." And I mean, I can go back to the text and I can find it. This is 7 years ago. She said he's going to be champ one day. I'm like, all right, cool. All of a sudden, I'm sitting here 3 years later, I think 3.5 years later, 4 years later, when he got in the UFC, it's some bitches. And he's phenomenal stand-up. He's just too cocky. He thinks that he can't be knocked out, and that's his downfall.
Yeah.
He
It's
was
happened
still,
twice now.
Yeah, it's happened twice. So you got to change that. Something's got to change to let you know.
Do you think that maybe switching teams, or because he is loyal
Oh, yeah. He's
to
Alpha
to that
male.
team till the end? Do you think changing a change of scenery might help him?
I don't know if he needs to change the scenery. He needs a coach that's going to give him a different look.
Well,
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I was Cody Garbrandt's coach after the first fight, I would have made sure my chin was tucked.
well, the first coach was what is his name? The Filipino guy who's no longer there. He used to fight too. God damn it!
He was bad at Danny.
No, Danny Castillo's Cuban.
Still there.
No.
How am I supposed to know how they look? Papi,
They all look
goofy.
the same.
Why are you so racist?
Pull up their team.
That sounds just
Alpha male?
Yeah, put alpha male coach. God damn it! It's right there on the tip of my tongue, and I can't fucking remember his
That's
name.
what she said.
So yeah, exactly. Anyway, but for the second fight, I think it was a different coach.
Joseph?
No, that's
Benavidez.
Benavidez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, he's a monster too.
yeah. Although he's gone 0-3, I think, in the title fights.
You know, my wife will tell you best. He will only be a bridesmaid, never the bride. She says that, and I just, dude.
I hate it because I like him. He's so good.
Oh, he'll make it. I think
Dude,
you're right.
he's not getting any younger.
No, but he had major back surgery too, didn't he?
Did he?
Yes.
All right,
Remember,
well, there's no Asian
Justin
on there.
Justin
Buchholz.
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 Yeah. That's him. He was the coach in the first fight. Second fight was somebody else. I don't
Well,
know
this
who
is
it
what
was.
you got to remember. Think about it. Team Alpha Male was legit when Dwayne was there.
He was. Yeah.
That shows you that sometimes you have to, and you're right, it's a different look. Look at Mike Perry. Mike Perry went from Florida all the way over to
New
to
Mexico.
John Winkle,
Yeah.
or
Twinkle
with Jones and them, and look how his last fight was.
Yeah, but he's fighting bums in the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
But he can fight bums all day long. But the whole key to him is he progressed as a fighter.
Yeah.
He took the guy down.
Yeah.
He beat him up. Every fight that Perry's ever been in has been a bang fest.
Yeah.
He stands in front of the guy thinking, I'm tougher than you. And a guy that is a phenomenal striker with range and distance picks him apart.
Who's he fighting next? I know
Cowboy.
Cowboy.
Really?
That's in
Yeah.
Denver, right?
That's
Yep.
why Cowboy left.
Yeah.
There.
That's why if you didn't listen to Rogan's
No, I did, but
Yeah,
he said he didn't have any animosity towards
Yeah, no,
Perry.
No, not at all.
No, none to Perry. He's just like, fuck, Winklejohn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't blame him, because really in your gym you should never allow your fighters to fight.
No,
Dean
I-
said it best this Saturday when we're in there sparring. Dean said, "I'm gonna tell y'all right now." He goes, "None of you will fight each other. If you come to my gym and you spar with any of my guys, y'all will never fight each other." He said, "I'm telling you that right now."
Yeah.
So and it's you don't even you know how many gyms were in there this weekend,
Bro, it's too
Dude.
many.
and I'm not.
It's
not-
like it's funny because Costco and Tavares they fought a while ago.
I know. Oh, Tavares told me that was the best fight he had.
Dude, that fight was fire.
I heard, and watching them spar is fire.
Yeah, dude, he hit Mitchell with a jab and a 2-piece to the body. I have it on the video.
I see that.
I was like, man, that was so smooth. I was like, man, I wish I could do that.
Just watching. That's the best part about watching these guys too.
Yeah.
Kozlo, Cuba come in. That son of a bitch
Yeah, he
is
came in last week, yeah.
phenomenal. I mean, just to watch them spar. I'm like a kid. I will literally sit out some rounds to watch. If
Bro.
I see if it's Steven and Ramon sparring, I don't spar. I go and watch them spar because you'll learn just as much just by watching somebody that actually knows what they're doing.
What do you think I don't leave when I'm done rolling? I just
It's fascinating.
I go around.
Well, you
and
like to see the sideshow too, because every now and then somebody gets out of hand.
I did see when what's his name?
Blake.
Balake.
Blakey. Little Blakey like to punch too hard sometimes.
I saw him take that dive. I was literally like a foot away.
Dude, all of a sudden you hear this.
Yeah, that was
No more.
If I play
funny.
dead, he'll go away.
I saw DeLilo come in on Austin, and he didn't throw that hard, but he was coming into it, and man, that shit looked like he killed him. But he got up, kept sparring.
Daniel got I seen a lot of shots on one of the videos that he was getting tagged with pretty decent.
He did some tagging too.
No, he does. No, especially that damn front kick he likes to do.
He likes to throw that jumping kick too.
Yes. It's very, very.
It's like you don't
accurate.
you don't expect that shit to
Well,
come.
you see his beautiful wavy hair when it bounces. You're like, ooh,
It distracts
and then
you.
all of a
I
sudden you
noticed
look down
that.
and there's his foot.
I noticed that. I'm like, it kind of distracts you from that kick,
It's like, bro, pull your hair back.
bro. Like,
Fucking me up.
he puts it in braids when he fights.
Yes.
So-
nice and purdy.
So if he just lets his hair down when he's fighting, he might catch somebody with that kick.
You can't even see his face with that hair.
Bro, it's
curly.
I thought he was gonna hit somebody with the kick, but he pulls it back.
No, he does.
Yeah.
He's actually really good to spar
Yeah,
with.
he's really good.
Yeah. And I guess he didn't realize that I've actually calmed down a lot. Because him and Smokey were in there one weekend, and I was trying to get... Because my theory is I try to spar with everybody I know that can fight. That's my theory. Because then I'm getting good sparring.
Yeah,
you don't
it
want to
doesn't
go...
do you any good to go against. Like,
somebody
if I
that
come into the gym, it's not going to... There's no work for you here.
Right. I'm
Well, unless he's working the bag.
Yeah. And if that's the case, go work the bag.
Yeah, great. But I literally, and this is before I guess... I mean, obviously I'm composed now. I mean, Smokey and Daniel looked at me and said, not today. They're like, no, dude. They're like, you're not hitting me. But they don't I mean, obviously that day might have been bad because I was my first Saturday back. and that's when I did the whole diving.
Yeah.
You know, and but now I'm so composed.
You don't even wear a headgear anymore.
No, because I'm composed now.
Yeah.
You know.
Back in the day, it's like, I'm going to throw, I'm going to put my hairgear on.
Yeah, we're going. Because I already know I'm fixing to throw hard.
Yeah, so you know it's coming back
Yeah,
at you.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Me and Jay is the one that started all that. I'll never forget the first day that me and him made it to the training yard.
Do you remember?
We beat the shit out of each
Remember
other.
the first time that Jay came over to the training yard and he was being really fast and going with Dean. Dean throw a head kick and put him down.
Dude, Dean has dropped. I think Dean's dropped every fighter that's been in there. By the way,
I have this video, and if you go to my YouTube page, I think it's called Training Yard 10, and you'll see this motherfucker in the background. Look at him and just start laughing and making fun of Jason.
Oh, I mean, that's what we did.
Oh my god,
That's what you do to your friends.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it's funny though because, and Dean is another. Dean's like reminds me of Coslow too. Dean's an Energizer Bunny,
Yeah.
and that's how Dean used to work all the time. Dean don't ever stop.
No.
And Dean would wait until the later part of the round, and if you were dumb enough to really try to get throw some shots, remember he's like a damn elephant. He don't forget the beginning of the sparring. You don't have to hit Dean hard to get a hard shot back. You can hit him hard in the first minute. He's going to remember you hit him hard in the first minute, and he's going to wait for you to be tired. And he's still not going to hit you hard, but he's going to catch you. He's going to hit you here where he drops you in your sternum. I mean,
He's not going to hurt you. But
he's not going to hurt you, but the next thing he's going to tell you, volume.
He throws a lot of punches,
Yes.
which overwhelms a lot of people. Yeah. And he's not throwing hard.
Nope.
It's just that there's so many punches coming that you're like, what the fuck? It's like you're sworn. It's like you're fighting two guys.
But his timing and his range is perfect too.
Yeah.
I mean, he just it's dude. He hits me so many times.
Bro.
Thank God he don't hit you hard.
Well, that's what everybody says. He's Yoda. Like, you know, if you want to go and get wisdom, go and either roll or, you know, just go talk with Dean. And
Dude.
fucking wisdom will be bestowed upon
Josh the man used to come before his fights to train with Dean.
I don't want.
But he did it because Dean was that good.
I saw him before, and of course I'm not speaking bad about Saman because you know he I didn't know him like a lot of you guys knew him, but he was good to me when Mike Piper was at a combat night and he was hanging with us and he was really cool. When he was coming in, it was business.
Oh well, I knew that.
He was trying to get into the UFC. You remember
Yes.
that when everybody knew, but nobody was saying anything. And I saw Dean tap him, and you know,
But he would do that because
He knew,
in.
yeah.
He knew. He
Yeah.
knew Dean was going to get him better. And I'm
Man.
going to tell you right now, when he come in the one time, me and Jason were fixing to fight at CFA together. And he looked at me and Jay. He says, "Hey,
Bro.
Josh is coming in." He says, "You're not sparring him." He says, and of course Jay sparred him anyway, and got dropped more than once.
yeah, I was there.
Yeah. Even Kurt, that was the worst one.
I was there.
Yeah, he beat the brakes off of Kurt. But he when he come in,
It was
business.
It was business.
You were coming to spar with Josh. Josh was coming to
Yeah.
spar. Josh was not playing around. Josh
No.
was not your buddy.
Afterwards, sure.
he's your best friend.
Yeah.
Before, he's
But-
your best friend.
Like,
But
During
once
training,
it's time to clock in,
no sir.
I don't want to say that I didn't like him because I did, but when he used to come in and drop people, and I'm like, man, he's going too hard. But now I understand why he was doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
He was trying to get somewhere. And if you play this patty cake shit, you know, while you're trying to get somewhere, that's not going to work.
No, you have to train like you fight.
So, like, needless to say, when I realized, fuck, this guy was just trying to get to the UFC, I'm like, I'm a fan. And bro, that kick that he hit Truck Gordon with, he put him.
I was watching that fight,
Bro,
dude.
I immediately texted Dean. I took a little video. I'm like, you see this shit? Man, that was so awesome.
He's one of the reasons I started watching the UFC again.
Yeah.
Because I got out of it because when they started, when all the old school guys
Yeah,
left and it
of
became
course,
so
yeah.
political and
Yeah.
they had one every damn weekend.
Yeah.
You're just like, come on.
well, we used to do. We've been doing UFC fights here at the house for probably 8 years, and so we were doing them there. When it first started, you were doing one like every 3 months,
Right.
kind of thing. Then it started picking up, and then it started getting to the point where like we're literally doing 1 or 2 a month, and it's like, fuck.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
One, this is getting a little expensive, which is okay. I don't mind paying for the fights, but then my wife, she cannot, if she goes, I'm not really going to do much for this fight, because some of our earlier fights, dude, there was a spread throughout our kitchen in our island.
Yes.
I mean, he, they've been here for Christmas. She does Christmas dinners, and just has fucking spreads. Okay, well, that's like $3 bills for us.
Yeah.
To do these things,
Mm-hmm.
and you start doing that, twice a month.
That's expensive.
It starts getting real expensive, and you start looking at it going, "Man, this is getting a little out of hand."
But
and then you're watching shitty fights. You're watching fights that you're not even interested in. You're just doing it because
You just
it's a
want
UFC
to
fight.
Yeah.
But you also got to think about it. It takes the specialness out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you where I know,
Yeah.
and it's with anything. We used to do shows in Puerto Rico once a year. Dude, 30,000 people like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, like
Yes.
now we'll look at the schedule and we'll go,
That's a good fight.
all right,
That's
yeah,
not-
I'm interested in this one. Like there has to be more than, because there's been some cards where I see one fight where I'm like, oh man, I'm really interested in that fight, but the rest of them are fucking garbage. And I'm like, I'm not paying $60 for that one fight to
Yeah.
just watch the rest of this fluff shit. Like next weekend we'll be doing that one. There's a lot of fights.
There's
on
got to
that
be
card.
at least 2 or 3 in that pay-per-view for me to say, okay,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
to buy it.
Yeah.
So this one, next week with Khabib and
Yeah, Connor
Ferguson.
wins.
Tony,
Connor
Pettis.
Yeah.
wins, you know that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Who do you
going the
have?
other. I'm going the other way. I think
think
Khabib.
so?
I think Khabib. I think Khabib's going to take shots, but I think Khabib's going to get him down. And I think once he gets him down, it's
Here's
done.
my thing. If Michael Johnson rocked Khabib the way that he rocked him, if Connor hits him like that in the first 2.5 rounds,
Yeah, it's
He's
done.
he's done.
Yeah.
The minute that Connor's tank starts going halfway and Khabib is still standing and starts taking them down, and
Khabib wins.
Khabib's
Yeah.
I think if it goes past 3,
Yes.
Khabib wins.
Yes.
If it
most likely,
yes.
if Khabib's going to lose, it's going to be either in 1 and 2.
Yes.
3 will be a toss up. 4, 5, that'll
Is
be
Khabib.
Khabib.
It's like I said, Khabib's wrestling is on another level.
Yeah.
And so is Connor standing. So it's like they're opposites.
Yeah.
It's a matter of whether Khabib is going to be able to avoid that shot in the first couple of rounds, and is he going to be able to take him down afterwards?
I think.
So it's kind of hard for me to say one or the other.
Yeah. I mean,
I just
would
want to see a
like-
good fight.
That's it. I want to see a good fight. I just think there again, it's one of those things. I think if Khabib gets a hold of him and he gets him to the ground, even now, if Khabib gets a hold of him and gets him to the ground in the first round, it could be done.
But how many has he finished in the first round? He does a lot of damage. He does a lot.
Yeah. But with
his ground and pound, unless he's gotten 10 times better, which the last time I seen him, I wasn't that impressed with his ground and pound.
well, I've
Yeah.
been watching. There have been quite a few of the training videos coming out of AKA where he's at, and
Which is a great gym for ground and pound, by the way.
yeah,
Why, Chris? Why would you hit that button?
yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
But the thing is with Connor's suspect gas tank, if you get taken down in
No,
that first round and you get pounded, you may not get finished. But if you get ground and pounded for 4.5 minutes,
The problem
I
is
disagree because Chad Mendez did that to him.
Chad Mendez is
He's a
yeah,
monster.
true.
He beat the shit out of Connor the first round.
He did.
and
And then Connor come
But
back,
then
yeah.
Chad's tank.
Yeah.
Chad lost that because Chad's tank emptied.
Well, because he didn't train for that
Yeah,
fight.
he
Yeah,
didn't
10
train for that
days.
fight.
That's it.
Yeah.
he didn't.
So
have
he didn't have a
training camp.
tank.
Yeah.
That's
The
all.
problem is that is well known that Connor does not like to do road work. He doesn't like to run. So how are you getting your stamina?
By
elliptical.
I don't run
Yeah,
You don't
I
run?
can't. I can't run.
So how do you do
the bike.
The bike?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do anaerobic. What I do is
I hate the
and
bike.
it's 4. Yeah, it sucks. I do 4 weeks out.
Mhm.
I do a fight, which is 15 minutes. I do a 1 minute warm up, and then I'm 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So the 30 seconds on is me fighting. I'm going as fast as I can, keeping the RPMs up at 145 is what I do.
Okay.
The level's not high yet. All right. And then when I go to rest, that's my 30-second rest. And then I do that. And I do that for 4 weeks straight. And I do it every day. I do it in the morning. And dude, you're a monster. You got to think running's hard on, when you get a certain age, obviously his fights,
Yeah.
you get a certain, running's not good for your joints.
Train harder,
Yeah.
not.
Hey,
Smarter, not,
Not
harder.
harder.
Yeah.
You'd
I
be
can't. I'm
surprised.
too.
I train hard too much.
I would love to run because the thing is I enjoy
Used to.
when I've done it I enjoy it, but the problem is I cannot do it a lot.
Yeah.
Bro, I
And I can't do it long
run all the time.
because my knees will start
Hate
hurting, my
running.
shins will start hurting.
That's because you got sucky ass shoes,
No,
That bullshit.
no.
bro.
I went and got
I
fitted.
haven't run
for,
since that Tough Mudder.
Hey, I've went and got fitted for running shoes. Went to first, the running store over there in Town Center. Got fitted, got my gait measured, all like that to get the right shoes. I'm running at 250 pounds, and I haven't ran since high school when I played football.
Well, maybe you shouldn't run
I
too
quit
much.
running when I graduated high school
Yeah.
too. I told myself because you wrestling and that's all you do is damn run. And I told myself the minute I graduate, I ain't running no more.
No,
Well, I used to run every day.
we ran every day after practice.
Before I did my first Tough Mudder, I was running 2 to 3 miles.
But you have to run because you're running in that.
Yeah.
No, you're not. I walked mine. Me and a buddy, because my buddy wanted me to do it with him. And he's like, I told him, I said, I can't run.
Yeah.
Because they're 12 miles. I was like, I can't run. And he goes, we're not running this one. Well, we're walking it with you. I went, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
And it's still 12 miles, 20 something obstacles. It still sucked.
I fucking ran it.
We ran, 4 miles?
No, we ran 7.
Is that how much we went?
Well, the second
before I
one, the
stopped?
second one I was out of shape, but I still did it.
And I'm not running after
We
the-
ran a good 4 miles.
You're never out of shape.
Bro.
You're always
I was round, yeah.
You're in decent shape for that
Look, I'm not running after the fucking
You're a little
mile
biased
walk
with
in the
that
creek.
one. No, that
Yeah.
killed me.
Yeah, I'm not running after that.
My muscles just stopped, and
Yeah.
I could barely walk.
Yeah,
but it was like
one
walking
mile
on
up that creek
nubs.
in waist deep water. I'm not running. That
That was our break.
How about
killed us?
How about Dan and Eric, dude? How do they do those?
Oh, bro, these dudes,
They're crazy.
72 hours across Florida.
On the death races.
Oh, they do the ultra marathons.
Yeah, well, it's no, it's not an ultra marathon. It's running, kayaking, and mountain biking across Florida.
Oh,
Ooh.
cool.
72 hours.
Hell no, that looks
No.
so uncool. Did you see? I see the pictures and the videos of them.
You see Eric
They get-
skydiving
they-
now?
Yeah, that's awesome though. Scott, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've done so many crazy things in my life.
You ever wear a squirrel suit?
No, but I'll give. It's funny. Those are the guys. When we went to New England, we went to Maine to do a show, and it's called New England Skydiving. It's the best skydiving place to ever be able to jump out of a plane. It's gorgeous, and all those guys go up there during the off season to make money so they can go overseas to do the suit.
Man,
So
that shit scares me.
That's
Scares the
crazy.
fuck out of me.
you've got to have a set of nuts to do that.
Yeah.
Bro, you're like 10 feet off the ground all of a sudden.
I've gone skydiving 4 times, tandem, and I just don't trust myself to go alone.
I've been
But I
tandem too. so
want to.
I would love that. I'm waiting for that new skydiving place to open up.
Oh, the one
yes,
up there?
the iFly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
want
wanna
to do
go.
that, and I do want to jump by myself.
Build my
because
confidence.
It is in my opinion, it's the best high you can ever get. Adrenaline
Without drugs.
Without drugs.
Yeah.
Because the first thing you do is that nervousness of going up in the plane. So it's like it's like fighting, really, emotional roller coaster, but it's 10 times better. So the first one is that whole adrenaline dump when you jump out of the plane.
You're looking at the edge and like, okay,
You're
what
like-
the fuck am I doing?
You just jump, fuck it, and you go in your tandem. So you do feel safe being tandem. Let's be honest.
I don't
Someone
know,
else can pull the.
I don't know if I want
Well,
another
I
man
would.
strapped to
They
my
let us
back.
pull in Maine.
I did my last jump was at Amelia Island, and it was on my birthday. I got to pull it, I got to control, and I got to do the landing. So I pretty much did everything by myself. I just had the guy on my back. to.
Well, the guys in Maine are all stunt skydivers. So, dude, and one of them's from Italy. He was hilarious, but he about made everybody sick that he took because when he would do this,
I
he would
love
literally.
those.
That's all you see,
Oh shit.
and you're just looking. You're like, oh, that's got to be bad for that guy. But the guy that I had was same. I mean, he turned me fast, but he didn't turn me as many times.
Yeah.
But it was a blast because then you open you go from that adrenaline dump, the anxiety of the jump, the speed to straight peacefulness.
It's so awesome.
I mean, it's there's nothing, you can't hear anything. It's quiet. You go from one high to the next.
you could talk to each other. It's
It's and that to me, that's the best thing I've ever done.
I'm going to pass on that.
And I've stunt rode. I've done some crazy shit. I've had a shit ton of wrecks. Asphalt sucks. Bad.
Did you just see there was a woman that just instead of pulling her chute, she pulled the clip that separated her and the instructor.
dumbass.
I hope she.
The
She had a
instructor is
great.
supposed to
They-
grab your hand and put you on it.
Yeah, well, from what I was reading, she got herself unclipped from the guy, and in the air, he was able to wrap her, clip back in, and then he pulled late, but it was
The guys that usually tandem are legit, except for if you go to Puerto Rico and jump.
I had my first.
Hey.
I had my
Amazing.
first jump in Alaska, and the guy, we did the somersaults out of the plane. We did the spinning. It was I got my money's worth. Like, and it was such a nice jump. Second time I went to go in Alaska, there was this other guy. I was like, "Oh, you do all the cool like spinny stuff?" He's like, "No." I was like, "What?" He's like, "No, I don't do that with other people." I was like, "I'm not going with you. You don't have the."
Give me somebody else.
Yeah.
So I begged. The guy's name is Cameron. I begged him because he already did his last jump for the day. It was sunset. It was gorgeous. He's like, "No, I'm tired. I've been doing this all day." I was like, "Please, you do somersaults, and I'm paying $350." And he took me, and it was the best jump I've ever had.
And
You have
not
to.
doing it.
And
Nah.
I'm telling you.
I'll go do the iFly. I'm really looking
Then
forward
you'll
to
do
that.
it. Then watch because you'll experience that.
Everybody
I don't
says it's, "Oh, I'm scared of heights." There's no heights up there. It's like you're driving in a
Hey,
car.
Hey, no.
No.
Hey, hold up.
It is. It's
There isn't though.
It's
Only
just
if you,
high.
only if you go to the place like in Maine and Alaska. Don't in Puerto Rico, Papi, Puerto Rico. Are you ready for this?
got mountains.
Yeah, no, hell with mountains. It takes you 20 minutes to get to where you got to be because the plane goes, and then they put way too many people in the plane. It's Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Papi.
It's a
Papi.
class
These are your
plane.
people.
I've never skydived in Puerto Rico.
Hey, I jumped. Man, I ain't never hit that hard in my life. So my buddy gets off and he goes, "Hey, cabrón." He goes, "You hit hard." I said, "Yes, I don't think that guy's too good." He said, "He's not. It's his first time." He goes, "You want to go again?" I said, Nope,
Nah, I'm good for today.
I'm good for today.
There was a guy on the plane with us at the Fernandina one, and he had just lost a pet bird, and so he had it cremated, mixed it in a bag with baby powder, and he jumped after us, but he landed before us, and he is covered in white. He's like,
Got to
"That
eat.
didn't work how I thought it
Yeah,
would."
got to eat my bird on the way down.
This is like
Hey.
chicken.
Yeah.
He wants to fly like his bird.
I made the mistake of getting a tattoo the day before right here on my side, and the harness.
Oh, that was smart.
I
Didn't think this plan out.
It's kind of like,
No.
getting a tattoo and going rolling.
I was supposed to go skydiving first and then getting the tattoo the next day.
Getting 4 tattoos. I got 2 on my knees,
Yeah.
2 on the back of my legs, and 1 on the side.
Yeah.
Dean's like,
The fuck's
are
wrong
you
with
are you really rolling with fresh tattoos? No, I got spats. I'm good. I
Oh,
wear my
shit.
I love my little gay leggings.
That's why this one looks like it's like hypercolored, because I went.
Listen, mine's still all right. They didn't bruise up too bad.
It was bleeding because
Yeah,
people
you gotta
grabbing
pull the
your
spats
wrists.
off. It's like,
Oh no, you could see the ink because when they're fresh, the
Yeah.
ink's still fresh. I literally have the imprint of my knees inside of the spats. It's just hilarious.
yeah, that's my wife. She's got they're the tattoo T-shirts and the tattoo sleepwear because her back is covered from her neck down to her knees, and so anytime she gets tattooed, we put those shirts on to sleep in and stuff like that because it's just we have sheets that have her tattoo outlined on it.
outline on it.
Yeah, so it's like fuck.
Yeah, I thought this one being so small it wouldn't be a big deal, but when you're nogi grappling and everybody's grabbing
Grabbing it.
grabbing your wrists, it was just bleeding by the end, and then that got infected, and
Mhm.
fuck.
There's a reason why Nick tells us when he tattoos us that like you'll see Art, he doesn't roll, he doesn't.
Well, yeah, but you guys were getting like massive. I mean, this one's not a bad size.
No, it
It
doesn't.
don't, but it don't
But
take
that
much.
one-
When I got
It takes one small opening.
yeah, when I got my Gucci one on the back here, I mean that's not big, and that one was.
I'm still new in this whole tattoo world.
That was-
this
that
is my
was-
third tattoo.
That was not very smart.
Yeah.
Manipulative.
Somebody asked me the other day, he's like, "Man, how many tattoos you guys?" Like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
I don't
once you get
count
so
them.
many, you quit counting.
Yeah, I was
My-
like,
my-
"How about just ask me where I'm not tattooed? We can go over that." I was
Yeah.
like,
I can
other
tell
than
you how
that-
many I have.
Yeah, you've got none.
0.
None.
I couldn't even tell you how many I have.
I'd have to.
You
get
take
a
off
piece
your
of-
shirt. You're.
Yeah,
It's like you have a tattoo shirt.
yeah. I'd have to
You
literally
should see
get a
when-
piece of paper.
When we change travel teams, it's fucking hilarious. Because nobody knows how many tattoos I have. Because I'm always wearing shirts like this
Mhm.
where you can't see them, and I rarely ever take my shirt off in front of people
Unless you're sparring.
unless I'm at the gym and I'm about to die of heat exhaustion. and getting punched in the face. But we go to the pool. I'll never forget. Everybody says the same thing. Wow, I think you could use some more tattoos.
Well, your sleeves, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm doing that. I'm actually finishing all my tattoos this year because I took a break from them. I got so busy with work.
Yeah.
Now with my new way that I've
You're the boss.
No. I've been the boss for a long time, but it's just my new way of thinking. I'm spending more time with the family, and I've always wanted to finish them. I've always wanted sleeves, and every tattoo I've had has some kind of meaning during the time of my life that I had it.
Yeah.
I did all my front work in the beginning of me riding. I literally have Freestyle Pimp tattooed on me. Like it's, and you'll see, and I always had a real bad temper.
No shit.
And so one side of my chest is fire, one side of my chest is water, so, and so everything I have, but I didn't name myself the Freestyle Pimp. But when I first started riding, I still don't use a handbrake, by the way. And if y'all ain't familiar with street riding, handbrakes are literally on here to control from flipping over. Well, I never used a handbrake, and I still to this day can ride without a handbrake. Well, I used to scrape high chair at like 30 miles an hour with no handbrake, with no helmet. I used to wear these big-ass bug-eye glasses. I used to smoke a Black and Mild. And literally, I'll never forget, one of the guys was like, dude, you like a Freestyle Pimp. I like that. I like that.
I'm going to tattoo that shit on my chest.
I'm going to tattoo that shit on me. So that's where that comes from. And then, of course, when on my back, a lot of stuff, chaos is going on in my life, so everything's blowing up and dead.
Bro, how could you not make a shirt that says Freestyle Pimp?
We did. We used to have a sweater that said it.
Oh, okay.
It sold the shit out
A
of it.
Christmas sweater?
No, not a Christmas sweater. It was like a hoodie that we used to sell. We used to have a shirt that said it. I mean, the street scene that it was a good time. I mean, we have 3 videos out, SSI, island hopping, clutch popping, and
booty popping.
Yeah, literally on I couldn't make we couldn't make the 4th video because it was right when I met my wife. And I used to have a gold grill, by the way.
I remember you
when I
telling me
used to
about
ride.
it. Yeah.
It had diamonds in it. I was a special individual.
He was a Paul Wall of freestyle riding.
Do that. All right.
and I'll never forget it. We're in Puerto Rico. My wife was a Circuit City model at the time when I met her. So she would go do drift in FMX and Supercross is what she would do. And then whenever we had a free weekend together, we'd go together. So she'd go to my show, I'd go to one of hers. So she goes to Puerto Rico for the first week. She had to be in Mexico for Supercross. So she flew out of Puerto Rico straight to Mexico. Well, of course, I'm there for another week, but I just met her. I was in love with her. She was fucking. I literally met her 2 weeks after deciding to divorce my first wife.
Oh, you were married before.
Oh yeah, I was married. I was.
Did the chick that bought you the bike?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I literally met her, and she worked at Hooters, and I didn't know she knew me, because when I'm fun, I'm shy unless you get to know me.
Yeah, he's shy.
Once you get to know me, then I talk.
Yeah.
Until then, I'm like the type of guy that likes to figure out what's going on first. So I'll never forget this day.
He's trying to see who the asshole is.
Yeah, right. So I'll come in, and I go there, and she comes up. I mean, I was still kind of upset about what was going on. I really wasn't, and Hooters was our first sponsor as riders. When we rode, they sponsored us. So it was cool as shit. The Regency one did. And so I go in there, and this one girl comes, and she's my waitress, which is my wife's best friend now. It's just Tiffany. So she comes, and she waits on me, pretty girl, and then all of a sudden this pretty little brunette comes and sits at my table, and I'm like, man, what's this girl want with me? She goes, hey. I'm like, hey. She goes, I know you. I said, I don't know you. She goes, I know you. I said, I think you got me confused with my brother, because my brother always talked to those girls. I mean, that was my brother's thing. He was
who is the real pimp?
Yeah, he was the Don Juan. So she goes, no, I know your brother is. I know that asshole. Yeah, you know who I am then. That'd be the first thing she says. So she kept, I wasn't even her table. She kept coming back and forth. So I'm just like, what does this pretty girl want with me? It's the first thing out of my mouth, because I knew the MTV thing hit. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, listen, I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
and of course, she looks at me and she goes, I don't need your money. I got my own. She gets my phone, dials her number, and says, hey, you have my phone number now. I didn't even call her for 2 days. So she was literally, my theory was I just got separated. So I was like, you know what? I'm on a tag and release program. I'm going to be a wildlife FWC right here. We tag and release.
Right.
Yeah. She happened to be the coolest chick that I've ever met in my life. She was laid back. She literally, 100% liked me, and I was like, because she was gorgeous. She's gorgeous now, still to this day, and she loved me. It was weird. Well, anyway, so she leaves for the week, and I'm up there, and we get the video, and they got girls on the top of the Don Q bus, the Cristal bus, and Winston and Yandel was there before they were big time.
Yeah.
And so they're playing, they're dancing, doing all this stuff, and so she sees it's in the video. So I can't put that video out. She's like, so that's like archive video. And it's one of the best ones that we ever had. And I'm not allowed to put it out. Period. Yeah.
But that's okay because you're happy, though.
Oh, dude. Forget about it.
Happy, beautiful wife, beautiful kids.
Family.
Beautiful gym life.
Yeah. Great gym to go to.
There you go.
Can't beat that with a stick.
Hell nah.
Not even the ugly stick you can't beat it with.
Yeah.
Me and Dee are going to go a competition of who's the ugliest.
Who?
Me and Dean.
Oh.
We have that competition. Who's the ugliest?
I don't know.
I don't know who's going to win.
I
I think I'm going to win because I think I'm uglier than him, I told him.
I'm not going to vote for anybody on that one. How long have we been going?
2:43.
Holy shit, almost 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yep.
What time is it?
It is 4:46.
Holy shit. All right. I think we should wrap this one up.
Okay.
Listen, before we go, give a shout out to your peoples, to your sponsors, and, where can people donate for that cause that you're fighting, which is, again,
Team Christian.
Team Christian.
And not only are we doing Team Christian, so it was combat night.
Yeah.
They made him a belt.
Oh, that's sweet.
But the belt was made prior to him passing.
Okay.
Mhm.
The belt was literally made to give to him.
Okay.
But obviously,
Pops will get it.
yes, of course. And then, but I would like to have a shout out to BMC. Bill Voorhees. He's the one that literally his company bought 75 tickets. Not
Awesome.
to mention, he also bought VIP tickets.
That's all the
For
expensive
himself.
ones. Yeah.
And he bought those before they bought the whole other amount of tickets. I'd like to thank all my friends in my neighborhood that have already bought tickets. Have already told me they've bought tickets. My baseball family that have bought tickets. Just it's Team Christian. He was a beautiful kid, and I want everybody to know who Christian Traver is. And every time I fight, it's going to be on the back of my shirt. It's going to be on my pants. It's going to be on everything. I want Tom to know that I love him and that this is for him. I also want to thank Lean Impact Nutrition.
Zach Elkins.
Yes, sir. He is actually sponsoring me for this fight,
Awesome.
giving me the food. By the way, we started fighting together. That's the best part. We shared the
Yeah.
same cage together, same trainer. He was a monster when I trained with him then. He's a monster now. I was hoping I tried to talk him into coming out for this fight.
He's
I
not
was
coming
like,
out.
Zach. And he's like, nah. I tried, though, because it's the OGs. That's what I wanted.
For sure.
I'd like to thank Mitchell, Richard, all them at Combat Night for even doing this for Christian. They're actually just as excited as I am. And, they didn't even know the young kid. They don't even know his father. It's just the love that the MMA community has. I'd like to thank the training yard. All the guys at the training yard. Dean Grant, Steven, Jeff. Obviously, all the guys that I get to punch in the face and the guys that get to punch me in the face.
Blake Dodd.
Yeah, Blake. Good old Blake.
I'm going to punch you right in the face.
They talk
You
just
wanna
like that, too. And, of course, everybody else has been there. All the friends and family. And my wife. Shit. She's the number one.
Fuck, she puts up with you.
How does she puts up with 3 of us, dude.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
When we go out to dinner, and the damn hostess goes, "How many kids?" My kids go 3, and she looks at us like we're crazy.
Yeah.
And then my youngest like, "He's a kid too."
Yeah.
Man, and her, and everybody that's gonna come out, buy your tickets. It's for Christian. The ticket sales proceeds go to Christian. My sponsor money's going to Christian. My fight money's going to Christian. We'll be setting up a booth. We actually talked to Shelby this past weekend, and they're doing I guess I forget what she said, something One Life or One Live or some kind of charity organization is going to set up a booth there.
Okay.
And she wanted to have Christian in there with the booth with him, which was cool as shit. So I'd like to thank her, and really just I love this industry. I love fighting. I don't like bull riding, by the way. And anybody else who wants to do it, it's just going to screw you up.
Basically, you're stupid if you do.
No, you're cowboy tough. That's really what it is.
All right, Cherry, anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good.
Excuse me. Chris, anything else you want to add?
No, just shout out to the wife like always.
All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate your support. And with that, we're going to leave you with our outro song.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.